And now we're here with the Podfather, Mr. Pound Sterling.
GDP.
Thanks. How you feeling, Pound? You've been with us for a little while.
Yeah. I'm having a nice time, you know. It's
like, you know us now.
Yeah, I feel like part of the family now. You know?
Definitely.
You are.
Uncle Pound and that.
Uncle Pound.
First of all, guys, just for future guests' reference, we have had gifts and sweets from Pound. So just learn from his
Waitrose,
and
you know.
they're not even from Lidl or any of them lower class. Right? I meant Waitrose, you know. Could have gone Harrods, could have gone Selfridges, but it's all right.
If there was a Harrods or Selfridges closer to you,
We appreciate
it.
Let that be out there for the rest of you podcasters.
Be warned.
And you can backdate your shit too.
Exactly.
That's true. I like that a lot.
I like that as well.
You've been on
A couple of times.
You owe us. You actually owe us
Chucky,
presents.
Poe, like we want you
Yeah,
back
we
on
want
again.
stuff.
Come and
Thanks.
bring some
what,
good.
Chucky
Yeah.
and Paul came empty-handed.
Yeah.
Shame, innit?
Shame. Oh, wait. Sometimes I have to show these men, lead by example. You know?
Honestly.
Sometimes you got to pop out and show. All right, guys, we're about to get up in Pound's business because, wow, you came and blessed us. You're like the guy.
Nah, you think so? No, I'm just me, man.
Look at the humble brag.
Here we go on the little humble.
I'm just out here, you know, trying to make some money, feed my daughter.
All right, so we always do enemy of progress. Who is your enemy of progress? Who, what,
Or
where,
a thing, yeah.
anything.
Enemy of progress. Anything that's pushing back progression, culture-wise, that puts things like views and clout over principle and morals. I don't like anything like that. To me, that's an enemy of progress. Yeah, that would be mine.
Have you got an example, please? Because we've been vague.
No, but there's too many to mention, really. If you look at what's going on, there's too many to mention. I just feel that if something doesn't sit right with my moral compass, I won't do it. I wouldn't come and sit with you guys if it didn't feel like something right for me to do. And some people, like, they're just doing anything. Like, you'll sit with people you don't even like for the sake of, this is going to generate some interest for me. You might not be able to stand the person. Now, I understand if you're doing that from a perspective of you're going to have a conversation and try to reach some level of get points across or whatever. But if you're just both doing it for the sake of this will bring engagement to me, I'm not really with all of that. I just think we should be trying to lead with a level of example. These microphones do have a level of power with them, you know? So, yeah, that's why. That's my enemy of progress there, ladies.
Thank you.
I see.
Do you feel that pressure though? Because you know there's like a whole big pushback of men with microphones and stuff. Like, do you feel that? Do you kind of like think, they don't know what they're talking about, or do you think like, you know, most
when people say like get the mics from those
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're not talking about me though, so I'm good. I know they're not talking about me. I understand the people that they're talking about. I get it. Like I just said, there's a level of responsibility to it. So no, I don't feel any pressure. I don't feel any pressure from anything when it comes to this thing. I just see, with me, I'm a man. I do what I want and I do what feels right. And with that in mind, I just go with the flow. And 9 out of 10 times it seems to come off okay. I'm not a flawless person, but yeah, I do what feels right. I don't think I can go too far wrong with that. And you lot would let me know. The aunties would let me know, innit?
100%.
You ain't been in the bin.
100%.
Who said it to me at when I saw you at Bizzles? One of you, because I saw
Probably
you,
me.
I think it was you. Said like someone said we wasn't sure about you at first, but you redeemed yourself with something.
Sounds like something I'd say.
Yeah, it sounded like you still. I think it might have been you. I just laughed. I laughed. It was funny. But I get it. I understood.
There was a hesitation, first off.
Okay.
I gave you actually, we used to do Welcome to the Family and you had a rant in your car. I think it was about kids in some way. But I was like, I also thought, you know, you're an ex-rapper and stuff, like you were probably like a stereotypical man on a mic. And then I saw that rant and was like, nah, we should big him up because that's great. He's setting a good example for everybody else. But there was a hesitation. You know,
But you should be hesitant with people. You shouldn't just take people just straight away. Because my thing is, people can put on an act, but the test of time will expose you. So if you might look, and someone might be able to give you, say what sounds great. It's like dating. Someone can take you on a date and be like, yeah. Dating is like, they can perform in a small window of time, but then when you've been with them now 3 months, 6 months, it's like, hold on a minute.
Yeah,
This
you
ain't
meet the real
guy that
them.
this ain't the same. You're not saying what you were saying before. You see what I mean? So I would like to think that week in, week out, people see me and get to hear what I'm saying. I've not even think I know I'm consistent because I don't hesitate. I just speak from here and let it flow.
How do people generally misunderstand who you are, or just make assumptions about you?
In personal life or to do with this?
However you want to answer.
I think over the years, I think the podcast helped people have a greater understanding of myself as a person, despite what they would have seen before or they might have heard. Because we go through stages in life. So I don't think it might have been a misinterpretation. They might have been right.
Okay.
But there's growth.
The tales from the car, them tales from the car that you've got, your backstories.
You've seen them.
Yeah, of course.
You know, I forget people see these things.
Yeah, because you're telling those stories.
Yeah.
They could be a series, like a visualized series.
Yeah, I stopped doing them though. But yeah, go on.
Yeah,
No, that should actually be a whole series.
It could
I know. I might bring it back at some point, but it is, go on.
So you've been into some bits, so how? Let's go into your backstory. Like, where you from? Where'd you grow up? All that stuff.
I'm from Lewisham. I grew up all around Lewisham Borough, so I've lived most of the places in Lewisham Borough. I've lived Catford, Lewisham, Honour Oak. Yeah.
Proper south, innit?
Yeah, south. But yeah, that's where I grew up. Born in Lewisham Hospital. That's where I grew up.
Wow.
What's your heritage?
My mum's side is Grenada, my dad's side is Jamaica.
And did you?
Tell us about your Grenadian side. Don't just try to skip over that. It's not often, you know.
My Grenada
It
side
doesn't happen very often, you know. I have to embrace that shit when it turns out.
Go
ahead.
Have you been?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
And
Listen, it's not a
which
joke
part?
thing. Like, Monfenji, Carriacou, my family.
Oh, okay.
They're like, it's not a joke thing. It's heavy. Like, I'm very close with that side of the family. Like, very close. My mum's side. I'm close with both sides, but I've got like I lived there for a while. Like, I left my parents' house young, so I lived there for a while anyway. But I was there all the time as a child anyway.
Yeah.
But
Have you got a Grenadian passport?
my cousin was cussing me for that the other day, and I said I've got to get one.
Do you know how
You need
easy
to.
it is and
He
quick?
said to me I've got to get one. He said I've got to get one.
Go over the water.
Shout out cousin Leroy. He said to me, get a grenade. You just got
You
one
can
for his
just
son.
get it in West Ken. The
Yeah, I'm gonna
embassy's
speak.
there.
I'll do it. Cause I know my mum's got one. But yeah, I grew up just very Jamaica one side, and very Grenada the other side. So I also think that's part of what's giving me a good balance, because my Grenada people are very different to my Jamaica people. You understand? My Grenada people, I say a lot more. My Grenada side are a lot more, bubbly, friendly, bit more accepting, bit more, My Jamaica side can be a bit more stern and a bit more, this is how it has to go and this is how it's gonna be and da da da. You see what I mean? So,
Is that an actual cultural difference? Like,
Is
you
it?
know, like
Yeah.
from
I mean, Jamaicans and Grenadians are very, very different. Jamaicans are very different to the rest of the Caribbean, I would say, anyway. They've got that big island mentality.
Jamaica is
Yeah.
the top country of the Caribbean. That's what
Yeah.
they're gonna feel. If you speak to my Jamaica side, like I always run the joke that when I went there with my family to go and bury my granddad, we went to Grenada, and my dad came. The first thing he did as soon as he landed the island was put on a Jamaica vest, come outside to let them know, I'm Jamaican. That's like he went through he had the whole suitcase. You could have picked anything out. As soon as he went down, Jamaica. Like,
And I bet someone would say, "Hey, you don't see stupidness."
it's all of that. So yeah, but they're very different. But I think it's great. It was great for me growing up. And yeah, man, I love Grenada. Bathway Beach, all of that. I love
Ooh,
it.
Batway.
How you mean?
That's rough.
So, yeah.
Beach is rough. You can't swim in there.
Right.
So what's your what are you a sibling? You've got brothers and sisters?
Yeah. I had two brothers. I got one now.
Oh,
Yeah, I lost a brother. Yeah, I'm the eldest.
what was that like? Do you have elder child syndrome?
What's that?
As in, like, all of the, like, you hold the responsibility.
Yeah, probably.
You paved the way.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Everything. But I thought that was just me in general as a person. But yeah, the 100%. Like, I definitely paved the way. Went through some stuff to make sure that things would be better and stuff. Yeah, 100%.
nice.
And also, I feel that I say this to my mum. She don't like when I say it. I feel that sometimes when people have their first child, they're still learning.
It's true.
You understand? They're still learning, and I'm at peace with my life, so I don't have a problem with that. But I'm aware of it. You know what I mean? I'm aware of that. So yeah, that's what it is.
Was a lot more responsibility heaped on your shoulders.
Oh yeah, I was picking up my brothers from school from when I was like 11. Wow. You see what I'm saying? Like I'd pick up my younger brother from school. Then I'd pick up both of them when I was a certain age, come back, cook food. We were latchkey kids, innit? So our parents would work. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
come in, make food, look after them, etc., till a certain time. yeah, that's the kind of relationship I had with them, like a second dad.
Yeah.
Are you comfortable talking about your brother that you lost?
Yeah, we can talk on it to a degree. I smile when I speak of him, so you can talk on it to a degree. Man.
Oh,
That's my
lovely.
heart.
What happened, if you don't mind?
The specifics of it.
No, you can.
I can't
wherever
get
you
into
want.
all of that.
Just
now,
no,
but
no,
I-
no.
About-
The general
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
And I guess the effect it had on you and how
I'll
it
just
shaped
say
you.
he was young. He went too early. Street stuff. Just before his 21st.
Oh,
A week before his 21st.
A week.
Yeah, a week before. Yeah, a week or so before his 21st. And yeah, it was just the effect it had on me. Yeah, it changed my life. It changed my whole family's life. It changes. It changed everything. But for me as an individual, massive effects on me because I had to take time out to look after my family, look after my mum, look after everyone. That's what I do. Anyway, I say it casually, but that's
You
just
look
my
after
nature.
yourself.
Yeah.
No one asked me that for a while, but
Yeah.
I didn't really until I realised after about a year that mash up. Everything that was going wrong was going wrong. My body was breaking down.
Yeah.
I was just trying to push through everything. I remember one of my cousins saying to me at the time, like, you got to look after yourself, you're carrying everyone.
Yeah.
But it's okay, it's kind of what I do. But then, I spent years, because of that, that's when I stopped doing music and stuff. Because he was meant to be my first artist. I had a video with him that was on television a few months before he passed still. So, because he was the youngest.
Right.
So,
How old was you?
when it happened at the time, she was 20, I'd have been 28.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was going to be my first artist. And then, so I spent time with my family and then I stopped recording and I kind of just, because to me, with music was always fun. So when I lost him, it was like, the party's over. What are we doing this for anymore? It doesn't make sense to me. Like, yeah.
Who did you, because I know that we have this conversation about black men speaking, going through their grief, leaning on people. Are you someone that talks when you're down and out, or do you keep it to yourself? How did you soldier through? How did you pick yourself back up?
I dealt with it all by myself.
Oh, mate. You didn't get therapy, nothing? Or that wasn't a thing?
No. I didn't do any therapy or anything like that. But I dealt with it with myself. But in a way, I think it was good for me in its own way because I don't think anything else can be a problem to me. Like I had to go off and once I finished dealing with everyone else, see, I deal with people. People don't deal with me. I look after people. People don't look after me. I've learned now to change that, but that was always my outlook, and I was just used to that. I look after my mum, I look after my brothers, I look after my dad, I look after my friends, I look after my cousins. That's my nature. So there was no one that could really say anything to me. I don't think they knew what to say. If I'm honest, I don't think they knew what to say to me because it's like, it's P. What do we say to P? So I just dealt with it myself.
So what you've got this...
But have you found, like, even in partners, is there anybody now where you're like, actually, I can, like, unrobe, so to speak, and lay my burdens on this person and they can carry it effectively? Have you found that in anybody? A partner or family or friends?
No one can manage my burdens. I carry that. No one can manage what I got to carry.
Why do you think that?
Because I've seen it and I know they can't. They can't manage what I've got to carry. As simple as I might say it, they can't manage it. I know they can't manage it.
Even to share with?
Oh, we can speak. I'm speaking now. Like, I'm comfortable to speak on things. Even now, is to speak is to, to help vent on these things. But as far as anyone to be able to deal with, no, they couldn't. They couldn't understand.
What's the son of you?
Leo.
Interesting.
They couldn't understand because while I'm going through these things, like everything has to keep moving. I must make sure my sons are looked after and they're in a good space. Business has to run, money has to make, all of that has to go on, and I'm gonna do it because what's the alternative? You see what I mean? What's the alternative? I haven't got time to. You see that when who said something ages ago? Like, I can't remember who it was. It might have been 50 Cent. He said something like, "Being depressed is a luxury."
Yeah, he did say that.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
that
it
is
was 50 Cent.
That is
It
very
was
much
him.
a black kind of thing anyway.
black-
isn't it? Like, where you
I'm not saying it's facts, but I get it because
We spoke about it at the
but
time.
it kind of
it
is
kind of
because
is.
man have
I
to keep
get
it
that.
moving. Things have to go. Like my granddad didn't have the luxury of being like, well, you know what? I've just come from Grenada.
Yeah.
You know, things
Yeah.
like, I can't really. No, I'm not coming out today, Joyce. I'm staying in. A man has to go out and do what he's got to do. Send for people.
Yeah.
All of
Right.
this is in a foreign land. They're calling him names. All of the above. Like, so I hear that things are better now. We can go talk to 2 therapists. We can cry.
Yeah.
We can selfie cry into the phone. And be like, no, you know what? I'm not, and you get likes and people will say, be strong. But I ain't from that ilk. I ain't from the hill. I'm just saying. I'm just saying I'm from a different.
But it's true.
I'm on a different kind of. I'm on a different kind of time.
There's a knock-on effect to that, but I understand what you're saying.
But I'll tell you why it's been good for me. Let's raise it up. I'll tell you why it's been very good and why it was very good and very beneficial for me. That time spent of for one, the things that he said to me on the last week when we were together, they stuck with me. He told me a few things. He told me that we were moving around. He told me he was watching how people react to me, and he said to me, you know what? People love you. You know, you're the people's champ, bro. You got to show people more love. Because I was very like, you couldn't even chat to me. That was just my mentality, and I took that on board. Little other things, and just the time spent living normal, because I stopped doing everything else to humble down myself, quieten my ego down, you understand, and just live normal. Gave me a much greater appreciation and took me back to who I am at my core before street life might turn you into some kind of person, you see what I mean? So there's benefit, there's been, you know, I've dealt with it in my own way, I've come out the other side, and thankfully I was able to deal with it by myself. But with love from people. Like my guy there was love. Yeah. There was love. Don't get confused like people, but you know, a lot of people just won't know how to deal with me.
So when did your music career, because it was music before podding.
Music before podding.
Or what,
Was you on Channel U? Do you know of Pound before?
Yeah, I knew you from Channel, because I used to work at Channel U, so I remember you.
Yes. Yeah, go on, what's the question?
Just music, talk about how you got into music from...
Again, it's this whole thing. See, I've just got this, what we would call a saviour complex, because that's what I've looked at it as. When all my people were going to prison for shit, I was like, what can I do to change this? Okay. How can I stop the guys?
So you were in the mix. Were you in the mix as well, watching them go jail? Were you?
I'm watching my left and my right, and the guy next to my right and the guy next to my right. You know, so I'm like, what can I do to break the cycle of this? Because this is just dumb. Like this is just going on and on and on and on. Because people do this thing where certain guys might do something. I don't know. Say guys sell drugs. This guy sells drugs. All his friends sell drugs with him. They go to jail, or one goes to jail. Then he comes out. Then one of the other one goes to jail. Then he comes out. Then the other one says, "Oh, you're back out. Here's some drugs. Yeah, let's go make some more money." Yeah, now it's just repeating, rinse and repeat. Yeah. My thing was, what can we do different? So, opened the studio, started recording. First, I was recording with my friend Dan Solo. Then opened our own thing, recording, and I was like, "Listen, guys, when you come out," to my main guy, "when you come out, this is what's going on." And he was like, "What are you talking about? We're not doing that. What are we going to be doing on the estate with pit bulls? We don't do that." I was like, "Nah, my thing will be different. Just watch, come out, and this is what we're going to do." And so said, so done. It created a good buzz. I put our money up, and it just created that buzz, you know?
How did you learn? Like, what's the training ground? Like, or is it? I always wonder when
how they become good rappers.
Yeah, like when they're like on an estate and it's kind of like we're doing this rapping thing. Like, what did you do to learn? What did you do?
To learn to what? Rap.
Yes. How did it work?
Teach yourself. You must always wonder. You must have a little moment where you're like,
he's in the mirror with his hairbrush.
Probably when we're like, I don't know, but you know, as black youths, maybe when we're like little. Like when we're young and we're like, everyone's got record decks and mics, so maybe from that stage, maybe it is that on the back of the bus kind of stuff. Yeah. But for me, it was never like that. For me, it was like, when it was time to do, when I started doing it and did it for TV and putting out stuff, everyone was like, rah.
For TV?
Like for Channel U.
Okay, you do videos and stuff.
And MTV Base and all that. When we started doing all that, people were like, rah, because nobody knew me for that. I never said like, even when I was doing it, if you watch my first video, I wore the t-shirt I put on said I'm not a rapper on the front, because I'm like, this ain't me, you know, I'm just doing this for whatever. But
so did you write your own bars and stuff?
Yeah, of course. I was to be honest, it was therapeutic. I was just talking about how I was living at the time. Okay. That's it. So it's easy as cake to me. I'm just talking about how I'm living.
Who were your musical influences at that time?
Musical influences, who was we listening to? You know, so at that times there we were just listening to flipping 50 Cent, Jay-Z, the Locks, the Americans, innit? Yeah. We was listening to them. Yeah, that was the influences.
All right, so you weren't listening to like the UK lot?
Nah, we were the first UK lot, really. We was like, so not really. When we came out, nah, there'd been guys before, but it weren't really the thing to listen. Nah, we were listening to the Americans, heavy.
And you did rap, you didn't do grime. You
didn't do grime, everyone else was doing grime.
Yeah. So you came with something different.
Not like Rodney P, Black Twang.
I shout out Rodney P and Black Twang, but that was before mine.
That was before him.
Yeah, that was so. My uncles were listening to them then there.
Okay.
Not me.
All right, cool.
Like this old man thing.
No, big up Rodney P and them, man. There.
We were like, not me.
That wasn't really my thing, but big up Rodney P and them, man. Big up Black Twang. That Black Twang.
Black Twang's heavy, yeah, big up Black Twang. Yeah.
So you weren't influenced by like So Solid and that, like just in terms of what they were doing and their impact.
I tell you what. So Solid, yeah. I was influenced in them in the sense that them men were taking all the gal in when they came out. And I was like, that can't work, man. I've got money. What, I've got money and you're more interested in these men because they're on TV.
Oh, wow.
I had to reevaluate.
Oh, wow.
Be like, okay, the gal them like a little piece of fame now as well, right? We're going to have to... Yeah, so that was
that was the motivator as well.
That was partly influence.
I was gonna say like it's a bit massive because they're from South London as well. Like I just thought like
that was the influence in that. That was the influence in that sense.
Okay,
but it's not like it wasn't that long after they came out that we dropped what we dropped. But I remember going out and the females were like. So solid. No, we're gonna say how it is, man.
No, not females.
No, females.
They're not females.
Females. They're women, ladies.
Oh, so now man can't even say females.
No, you can't.
But we don't like. But hold on.
Yeah.
I'm a man that doesn't like to use the same adjective over and over.
That's
said females
okay.
before,
But
so I might say women.
Yeah,
I might
that's
say
fine.
females.
No, drop that one out.
We prefer women and
Put that one to the side.
So what are you saying? Females is out of it.
Yeah.
Especially with your masculine shit.
So you're educating me right now.
Yeah.
I like to say this. So you're saying to me, can't refer to
Allow
the
it.
female.
No.
Men that say females, it has so many
Yeah.
it has
Connotations.
connotations. Like,
No, we're just saying it's true.
Is it that way?
Wait. It's
these
not-
females
it's not-
do.
hold on.
So
But I don't
It's
think
not
it's saying it in that
necessarily that
context.
you're.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not like you're
hear it
saying
like
that, and we understand that
you
you're not
understand what I'm
saying it
saying.
like that.
Yeah.
But someone else could interpret that in a different way. So
Females.
we're helping you. That's all.
Unfortunately, it's been co-opted
By
to
the
kind
manosphere.
to a certain extent, like dehumanize women a little bit,
Yeah.
and you wouldn't want to associate yourself with
Okay.
that. So that's what I would
can,
say.
Can I now say to you why in that context I use the word females?
What, go on.
Because the vision I took myself to, the place that we were at, I'd say it was probably like the women in there were varying from like
women.
varying from like 18 upwards.
Okay.
So in my mind, I don't want to say girls.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So that was why I blanketed it.
Young
You were trying to
ladies.
say
Yeah, but
that
now not everyone's young.
Okay.
But now not everyone's not young ladies.
Honeys. Honeys was a word they used in the 2000s.
They weren't all honeys. then.
They weren't all.
They weren't all right. All right, well,
Women is
anyway,
fine.
let's move past this. But thank you for educating me on this.
You're welcome.
Thank you for educating me. I like to learn something new every day. I like to learn something new every day, so please continue. Go ahead.
What was your biggest tune? What was like the big blow up tune that really got you recognised?
I don't know.
And were you famous? Or people were like, oh my God, it's you?
Yeah, people would stop because they weren't really. Before that, there weren't really that level of representation or an opportunity to do that. So I don't know, man. My first video did good for me. It put me in a position straight away, and then I did a tune later called Fresh that people did mess with it. That was like tune of the week on One Extra and spinning on bass and all of that. And that one like went out the country, and I did some shows overseas and all of that on it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
You're a superstar.
No, but you see, the thing with me is, I was never that. I didn't really look at it that kind of way.
Okay.
Because I was somebody before music.
Okay.
So I didn't have that kind of. Because I've come into it as somebody, I was always just like, yeah, cool. And that's just still my demeanour. It's just my
I was
nature.
going to say, but wouldn't that be the same with podding as well? Like,
Yes.
Like, Spray
Yes.
they're similar. Like I
like,
had a rep
Beforehand, yeah.
So people watching me here, it's like I was already being watched before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have that freshman style.
Yeah. So it's just, cool. Like, people watch me. I'm thankful of people watching me, but it's not, I'm never like, I don't really get gassed.
So tell us about Pudding. What made you want to do it?
After the time spent, I spent 10 years of living normal life. 10
Oh,
years,
wow.
It was 10 full years.
What is
When you say living normal
what is
life,
living
what do you mean?
normal life? What was that?
Sainsbury's on the till? No.
Oh God.
That's a little judgmental. How do you know that?
Well, I know you didn't. That's
How do you know that?
I know you didn't.
But what did you?
I didn't. But the point is, if I can't say females, you can't just assume that I didn't work
I
with
just
females.
know that you didn't.
All right. Don't stereotype man off. But anyway, no. In all seriousness.
Yeah, normal life.
Normal life for me at that juncture was, I had 2 gyms. So fighting gym. So one of them I would go and I'd be in there a lot. Sometimes I'd teach classes in there. With my sons, heavy. That was very important to me. With my sons, heavy. Taking my son football every week, 3 times a week. I was managing the team for like 4 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like that's what I mean by normal life. Just and not being fast money.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, just normal life, calming it down and just living normal, humbling myself, staying in, making sure that I'm not gonna end up going on holiday like where my friends have gone on holiday, and just normal and quieting, like I said, quieting down the ego and just calming myself, getting back to the essence of who I am.
Okay. And then podding.
And then I was about to accept that and be like, this will be the rest of my life. But people would always stop me and be like, oh, but I was about to accept that. But then I just had this feeling of like, because it was like the plug pulled on it. It's not like I wound down or I made a decision to, the plug got pulled.
Right.
Then this feeling came over me of like, there's more for me. Like I've left a lot on the table. Not everyday Clark Kent.
Okay. Okay.
Sometimes you got to bust out the cake.
You're a comedian.
Okay,
I didn't want to say it, you know.
Okay.
So yeah, I hear my
Show
feet.
that
You know
essence.
what? I hear my music. You know, I hear the feeling.
Yeah.
So like, we got to get back to it. So
But actually, I am a star.
yeah,
Yeah, you are. That's you. But yeah,
listen.
you know when it's you.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's fair.
So I know I'm meant to be doing stuff. So
Yeah.
I had the concept. I said it to. Everything always goes to Nikos first. I said it to Nikos. He's very blasé. He's like, yeah.
What year was
that'll
this?
work. What year you think that was,
come in?
Nikos? If we're 4 years in now, what?
Oh, okay. So it was after pandemic.
2021.
No, before pandemic. I had the idea before the execution. I had the idea at least a year and a half before the execution.
Okay.
Right.
So what were you planning
Okay.
or just figuring out whether you do it or not?
I knew I would do it. My thing was, I had to have the co-host that I was happy with.
Okay.
And apart from that, just kind of, I wanted my son to get to a certain age, my eldest.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
felt he did, you know, like children have different temperaments.
Yeah.
I felt like he needs me
There.
here
Yeah.
for just a bit longer. Let him get to 16. He needs, I'm there anyway, but he needs me. Like, he needs me, he needs all my attention.
Yeah.
And then there was a point once I did that. My youngest was like, he's starting secondary school, but he's very like, he's just, you see what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, I can start doing some stuff for myself now.
Okay.
That was the timing. So yeah, that was the timing.
So it took you a minute. So what would that be? That was 2021 you started.
No, we kicked off, 2021, end of 2020 into 2021.
And then what was your whole thing? What were you thinking? Like, this podcast is going to be what? What was the blueprint?
The blueprint was people are interested in what I say when I speak. I can hold a good conversation and I have relationships and understanding of artists. So I'll be able to get good guests and have a better conversation than others can have because I have a greater understanding of it. And it's kind of been so said, so done. But what I have to be thankful for is, which was kind of overwhelming to me, is I didn't know. I can say it now and sit here and be like, yeah, my music did. I didn't know my music had this impact on me.
Okay.
I had no idea. There wasn't social media. I didn't know till I dropped this and everyone was like, pounds.
Yeah.
Like my first episode, I remember saying to Doug, saying, listen, I'm going to put out this first episode. Prepare yourself. The numbers, this was my fault. The numbers might be low, but I'm going to have to swallow my ego, swallow my pride. It is what it is. It's just how it goes. But I've got a plan that it might do well. Then my first episode was like 60,000 views.
For your first one.
Yeah, for my first one.
What made you pick Doug? Of all the people that surround you, especially your family and everything, as you said,
Yes.
first cousins and all
of them.
Why did you go for Doug?
It's funny because I didn't choose a lot of people. Personality and being not like me.
Okay.
You wanted like an absolute opposite.
I won't say he's complete opposite because we share a lot of values, we share a lot of ideas, but I don't know. I think because I was watching him he did a football YouTube thing, the SC Dons, and he was part of that. And I was watching him on it before and laughing. I know him, but I was watching him saying, like, he's funny because SC Dons is a Lucian thing. I know a lot of the guys, and then I'd been watching him laughing, telling my son about it to watch it. Then the next day, my cousin rang me. He's like, I got the host for you. I was like, who? And he goes, Big Doug from SC Dons. And I said, yeah, that makes sense. Because sometimes I just trust in God's timing. It's just like, this is what's supposed to happen. So, yeah, then from there, it's just been organic. So, yeah, that's how Doug came to the fore.
How do you not navigate running the pod together? Like, what's yin and yang? Who does what? How does it work?
He does everything. Doug turns up and... I can say that. You know why I can say that now, Nikos? Because he said it the other day when Rashid interviewed him. I've never heard him say it before. But he said it. He goes, I'll be honest with you, you know. He goes, I'll just leave everything to Pete. So I can say that now. Yeah.
And it works.
That's fine for me. I don't mind because
Yeah.
I'm just good like that. I get things done. Like, things have to get done. So, yeah. And he's busy as well. We're all busy, to be honest. But, yeah, he's very happy with that arrangement.
Yeah.
I mean, sure.
would be.
And because of your reputation, so that means you can have, because everyone's been on your pod. So you just,
Thankfully.
is it just about, yo, come on my pod and they come? Have you had to coerce someone to come on your pod?
No, I've never done that, you know, and I wouldn't. My thing is, I like to keep it very organic. When I see people, or I bump into them, or I'll just say to them, what's happening? They'll be like, yeah. Like, pull up when you're ready, when the time's right for you, whatever you've got going on. And people are receptive to that. And like, yeah, Pete, yeah, cool. Or they'll hit me up and be like, yeah, I want to pull up at this time. Some people, listen, one thing with me, I don't rush anything. I've known Rapman for years. He's like, I have to big him up because it's him that said to me, I need to come out and do something. When I was living normal, walking my dog, he rang me. He just flipping, he was doing Blue Story.
Yeah.
He said, you need to come back outside. What you doing? You're the OG, come outside, there's money out here, what you doing?
Yeah.
And these little things, I might not respond to them immediately, but I hear you.
Yeah.
So when back to what we were saying, when I bump into him and he says to me, yeah, I see what you're doing, you're killing it. I'm going to pull up. But wait, I've got this program I'm making. I can't say too much about it right now. But when it buses, you're the first person I'm coming to see.
Oh, wow.
And I'm sending the cast over there as well.
Wow.
Fast forward a year and a half, so said, so done.
Yeah.
Same with gigs. I'd only been filming a couple episodes. He paged me, yo, I see what you're doing. Sick. I'm going to pull up. I'm like, all right, cool. In your own time. About 8 months later, listen, I'm pulling up. I'm bringing Buck as well. Buck never does anything.
You don't talk to anyone.
Buck don't talk to no one.
know.
They're my guys. But they pulled up and so that's how I run it. I don't pressure nothing. I just go
So
with
it's
the
like
flow.
your place is like the rite of passage, like the cool place to go. If you're like,
Oh yeah. That's you know why I say that?
Yeah,
You know who
it's
put
true.
that on? Poet put that there.
No, it's true.
Poet said to
True.
me, and a couple people have told me Poet said that. Poet said to me, "No, you give the stamp out. Like,
Yeah.
it's the stamp of
Okay.
like, yeah. I went to you're cool. For the man, them, like you said, yeah, you went to Pounds' thing. But I don't look at it like that. I just looked at it.
but you know.
It's nice, but I looked at it as just like, I want to show people that it's okay to say I'm a fan of you. It's okay to say I listen to your music, I watch your films. It's okay to say I've had a bad day today. Me and Doug on episode 1 and 2, I spoke about being at my grand's and sleeping on a bed base.
Okay.
I slept on the bed base because, like an idiot, I bought the bed base before the mattress. I should have bought the mattress and then bought the bed base. I couldn't afford both, so I bought the bed base. See how dumb that sounds now? But it's character building. Character building.
You'll never do that again.
I would never do it again. I was 17.
Yeah.
I couldn't afford both. Slept on the bed base for like 2 weeks until I could afford the mattress. We spoke like that. Then by the time Richard Blackwood came, who was my second guest, Major Fink was the first.
Oh, right.
Oh,
Then
really?
He was my first guest.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why.
You have a mask on?
He did.
Okay.
Then Richard Black would come. He started speaking very openly, and my cousin, one of my other cousins, nudged me after the end. He goes, "You know why he's speaking like this, and do you know why everyone coming keeps speaking like this?" I don't know. He goes, "Because you've made it okay for guys to speak about this kind of thing." So it's nice, man. I know my position in this thing. That's where it is. So it's all the cool stuff is great, but there's a bigger picture and a bigger message behind what we try and do over at Winners.
But has there been anybody that you've just been like, nah, didn't like them? You don't have to tell us who, but you could tell us who. But
Man that we didn't like.
Or you
Yeah.
regret having on.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, oh, that was
Fuck,
probably
you
the
know. Yeah.
yeah.
wrong decision.
Nah, because not everyone can come on my podcast. Still, fair people get to. Anyway, let me not say.
No, tell us.
No, it's not. It's not just any. It's not just. No, you can't just put. No.
Yeah.
So you have to have like some sort of interest.
What are
in
you
it,
looking for? Yeah. For the guest.
For me to be interested, for me to respect, for me to want to support what they're doing.
Okay.
Also, at times it needs to be of benefit, you know, for both of us at times. Sometimes it doesn't, but sometimes it does. If Yeah, and I need to be aware of you sometimes for my own self. For me to want to have that conversation,
Yeah.
I need to be aware of you because I think it's a better place to have a conversation from. Like we can all speak from a place of mutual respect, and like I'm aware of you guys. I watch, I see what's going on. We see each other out. It's nice. Then we can sit and chop it up. So things like that, you know. Sometimes I just do ones for the sake of it's good for the community, though. Like, I know, I know no one. This might not do numbers, but this is a very important conversation to be having, and I try to make sure I do a lot of them as well. It has to be bigger than views.
Fair. Are we running out?
Are you doing? Oh,
Go on.
I was gonna
ahead,
say,
go ahead.
like,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
Are you doing it like? Is this your full time or your main gig now? Your main thing. Not to get too in your business, but like.
What? But is this my main source of income?
Yeah.
No.
You still
Still
got
got
your
the
gym?
gyms, isn't it?
The gym's still running, and we do some other stuff. Well, let me just be clear that it's legitimate stuff. Like, we do some. Me and one of my other guys, we do some property stuff and all of that. as well,
Right,
outside of
okay.
that. But this is my number one passion.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Got you.
If you were to ask me that,
Yeah.
yeah, it's my passion. Yeah,
You're also a father, and you spoke about your sons.
yes.
Being a father, what type of father are you? Are you strict? Are you fair? Are you?
I'm fair. I'm not strict.
Would they say that though?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
100%.
Can we call them, please?
100%. They would say, nah, my sons would say, I get on with my sons well, man. They're my guys.
How old are they?
19 and 13.
Okay.
I get on with them well, man. My thing has always been, because I think maybe because my upbringing was so harsh.
Okay.
I had an old school dad, so my upbringing was harsh. So I've gone the complete opposite kind of way.
Okay.
Like
That happens.
I'm a hugger with my sons. Like
nice.
my son can't really, my youngest can't really walk past me. You understand? See what I mean?
Yeah.
My eldest now, we've been through that phase. Now it's just like I saw him in the gym today.
Okay.
He was in the gym same time, and like when he's finished, he came over and he spudded me, and I thought,
Oh, wow.
is that how we're going on now? Yeah. Cool, I get it. Big man thing. Yeah, I'm going now. I was like, all right, cool. So no. I'm not the strict one. I was never the strict one. But if you're taking it too far, and I get the call from your mum, then yeah, we're gonna have words. Or if you feel that you're getting too big, because it's an instinct in boys. You realise you're taller than your mum, you're bigger than your mum.
Yeah.
You're this, and now without realising it, you might be pushing the boundaries, and then now I'm gonna have to check you and be like, listen, you see what I mean? When it's that proper discipline. But other than that, no, we laugh, we joke, we mess around, we banter. But respect is also very important.
So being a present father is obviously important, and we have
believe
lots of
so.
conversations about
Very much so, yes.
baby mothers, baby fathers, all the
Yes,
drama in
very
between.
important, very
How do you navigate that, and have you had to navigate that?
It's just very important to be present. It's very important to have good, respectful relationships. I'd say whether you're with your child, mum, or you're not, you need to. There needs to be a big level of respect and understanding going both ways. You know, because the child must be the priority. Once you choose to have children, I personally feel that you are no longer. It's more about them. Yes, you're somebody, and you must look after yourself and all of this. But you must prioritize them and their needs and what they're gonna need. You're at your big age, and you've decided to create this person. So now, between the two of you, you need to work out how we're gonna navigate to make sure their upbringing is, you know.
Say it loud.
Was you always like that, or did you grow into that?
There was always like what?
Like being that kind of present dad, like, or was it something
time
that you've
where
learned on the?
I was there from when both my children were born, and I'm about. Like, that's very big to me. But remember, that might be because I've been quite a loner at times as well. Maybe it's not. It's just my nature, because I love my people. But I'm just very aware of being, as a child, I wasn't in that kind of situation. Me and my mum were always very, very good, but my dad was a strict guy. He was a stern guy. He would say himself he wasn't a very affectionate guy. He's old school, yard man. You understand? It's all licks and bad ups and all of that kind of stuff. So, but with my kids, from beginning, from they've landed, yeah, they know that dad is very accessible. If they need me for anything, I'm coming, and that's the priority. I didn't miss a football match in that 4 years. You know, rain, sleet, hell, snow. If I'm if I'm in Nottingham and the match is at 1, then I'm gonna have to leave at whatever time. But I'm gonna get there. Yeah, it's one of them ones.
Oh God, time.
Go ahead. Push the time a little, please.
All right, just okay. Actually,
Because text them, man,
what do you
tell them
wanna-
we're gonna be 10 minutes late.
it's a quick question. It is a question about fatherhood, because we have
ahead, go
conversations
ahead.
about men pulling up men when they see them acting out of pocket.
All the time.
Are you that guy? Will you see a man in your crew acting away? Are you going to say something
And pull him to one side.
and say, "Yo, fix up"?
Brethren.
Listen, I'm the champion of that.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say too much because
Okay.
I'm bait
say
no
it
one
then.
up. You get me? But I'm the champion of that when it comes to pulling up the man. No, of course. I'll give, because it's so important.
But it's not, of course, because a lot of men like, no, we can't, because it might turn into this and turn into
Yeah,
that.
we've heard all the excuses.
have,
of
yeah.
They're not
actually,
good
if
enough
you put
friends.
them up.
Then you're not good enough friends.
It's true though.
That's the truth.
No, but it's
Because-
true.
But they say it
Time.
can escalate and actually it can turn violent. So
There's
What can
should I
turn
be
violent?
pulling somebody up? Because it
In
could
regards to what?
like they're like, I can't pull up my boy on whatever because it can go one way. So
No. Close enough friends that are almost a borderline family, you should be able to have an honest and frank conversation with them and say to them, listen, you know what, bro, this is this or that is that. And they might not like to hear it at first. They might not be receptive to it. But sometimes at least you know you've said it and the conversation should be able to be had. If you're really friends, if you're really family, people throw around these words too lightly, because if you're really my friend and you're really my family, I should be able to give you some input on what I feel, and
Yeah.
you should be able to take it and know it's coming from a loving place and from a place of concern. So no, that's my outlook on it anyway.
That's
But that's because I've developed. Don't get me wrong. Now that you put it like this, as a man that's lived life, I've filtered down who's around me.
sure.
okay,
You see what I'm saying? As we all do. So
Yeah.
there probably there are people that have been friends. If you're going back years before, and they might not have been as receptive to it. They might not had the emotional intelligence or the emotional maturity to be able to accept this and be like, "Oh, who you talking to?" But you have to weed them. I personally have had to weed those people out. The people around me now, 100%, I could say something to them about that, and they could say the same to me.
What about publicly though? So when we have like people like Shits and Gigs, for example, doing up
Stuff.
wild stuff, like, do you know what I mean, in the name of banter, are you that person that will call those people out publicly? Because there's something about that when particularly black men do things to embarrass black women on a public global scale, that they are not pulled up by other black men.
I'm not. See, the weird thing is, because that example you use, I did speak on it publicly.
yeah.
But I'm not the number one for, because sometimes I feel like I don't want it to seem like I'm clout chasing, or I don't like sensationalizing, or going in on certain topics
Yeah.
that's gonna, like I'm stepping on someone's neck. I'd rather, if I saw them face to face, and I would speak. But yeah, holding accountability on platforms is a bit of a slippery slope, because it can seem like you've got an agenda. You might be using it for your advantage. Is it from a genuine place? So I don't know whether it's. I'm always with the public flocking of these guys.
What did you
I
think
guess
of
you've
the
had
Shits?
chats with Mezzy.
Yeah.
You sat down and spoke to
Oh,
him.
Mizzy.
Mizzy,
Yeah, go on.
Noel Clark as well.
Yeah, Noel
Would
Clark.
you speak with like Young Spray? Or is that I'm not actually chatting to him?
You know what it is? You know what it is? There's nothing really to talk about. We used to speak,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
think
yeah.
that this guy, I've got fucking voice messages from him where he's asking me to come on his show and all of that kind of stuff. Listen, there's no issue. There's no issue. I'll say there's no issue. It's just, that's how he chooses to run his show, and that's what generates interest for him. People might look from the outside in and think there's an issue, but there's not. Like, him and Doug have seen each other. They spoke. He wanted to do a show together. It was me that said I don't want to do the show. I wasn't receptive to that, because that's just my nature. I can't help it. Like, I didn't come from an era of you can say whatever you want and I'm meant to know that it's a joke.
Right.
You see what I mean? I didn't come from an
Yeah.
era I'm meant to know that,
Yeah.
oh, you can
Yes.
say whatever you want, and I'm just meant to be like,
Yes.
oh, yeah, it's just
Agreed.
trolling. You see what I'm
100%.
saying? So,
100%.
but now I've got to understand this is where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Like he said, he saw Doug, he said, oh, just trolling, all of that. But that's not, so that's why with me, I'm like, no, listen, I've said it privately, I'll say it publicly. He's a man with children. I'm glad he's providing and doing something over there to make sure that his kids are, whatever. But no, we don't need to speak like that. You can coexist.
Yeah, it's done.
You can coexist. He's over there doing what he's doing. He's created a platform, a big platform. He runs it how he feels he needs to run it. My financial situation might be different to his, so I don't need to do all of that.
Yeah.
What's your self-care regime?
That's a flex.
How do you like your beauty? How do you take care of your skin? It's glowing.
You know what? It's pretty straight and simple. I'm just old school, like,
What,
wash your face and cream up with a cocoa butter. You get me?
I was didn't want to say it for you.
I was going to say
No, I was going to say definitely. Is it still Palmer's? Still Palmer's, yeah?
Still Palmer's.
Yeah.
What do you wash your face with?
Soap and water.
Soap and water.
No, we're not that deep. No, it could be some. It varies. You know, we might have some. At the moment, to be fair, we're running with some Clinique stuff that
Okay.
and all of that stuff. But yeah,
Was it gifted or did you actually go and buy it?
Oh, shit.
Nah, it was
Girl,
gifted.
girl.
Wait, hold on. I forgot to ask them. Who's your woman?
On big internet.
Yeah.
I'm not doing all of that. Not everything is for the internet. Some privacy must be maintained.
So she's happy. You're being looked after.
I heard it, of course.
Yeah, of course. Just checking.
Yeah.
What's in your pockets?
Right now.
You got a man bag.
You got a man bag. You don't carry
No, we
nothing.
don't do man bags.
What's always in your pocket though? What do you always have to have on you?
My phone and my cards.
No lip balm, hand cream.
We're not
I
doing
think the watch maybe is what.
No, but that's just watches are just part of
Okay.
yeah.
It is what it is.
Tell the
Yeah.
time. But no, other than that, like what's in the card? Not so much in the pocket, but say like in one of the box card. You know, look aftershave.
Okay. What's your smell? Oh, you don't want to share.
That varies, you know, but we're not
Okay.
gonna
Okay.
can't have everyone trying to smell like.
Okay. Fair.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
man.
only one person gets to smell that you and know what you.
That masculine sheet.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Mai Tai.
Muay Thai, yeah.
You keep
Yeah,
fit.
yeah.
What is that?
What's that?
It's-
What
Don't know
is she
what that is.
doing?
That's Mai
That's,
Tai.
that
What
looks
are you
like,
doing?
That's Wing Chun.
Stop.
Yeah, you're a Mai Tai expert, right?
I've trained for a good while, yeah.
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 So can you train us? Give
Yeah,
us
can
a
you?
lesson.
I could.
Thank you.
No, but why are you wrong? I'll do that.
Yeah, thank you. We want a session at
I'll
one of
take
your
that shit.
gyms. We want to come down and have a
Arrange
session.
something.
I mean, where's your gym?
Thank
though?
you.
Got
Lewisham.
Is it in South?
Can you do another franchise?
Don't know about all that.
That's fair. Listen, we'll see what goes on.
All right. Last thing before you go.
what's the
Auntie Vention, do you need to ask us for some advice? We must be able to help you solve
You
something.
already told me, don't say the F word. Rob, and I'm not even saying it now, you know what? I'm just saying the F word. So that's out of
Is
it.
that it?
What else do I need advice on?
Come on, we must be able to help
Yeah,
you.
we're like, expert dilemma solvers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're aunties with opinions.
All right, let me think of a dilemma for one of the boys because it's not my dilemma.
Okay.
No, of course
It's
not.
never yours.
No, this is really not. This isn't. One of the
Truly
boys.
my friend.
My friend said, yeah.
Trying to think which one I can say because they come to me with them. But I'm trying to think. I can't really put his business out there in case.
No, definitely.
No, you don't have to. You
in
change
case
the
his
names.
partners- yeah, but the scenario.
Oh.
It's one of them
Obvious.
scenarios
Okay.
where
Yeah.
she's gonna be like, he's talking about.
Yeah.
Let me not do that.
All right, then.
I don't think I can get away with that one. All right. What can I ask you, lot? What's a female's perspective?
You just said it again.
You're in trouble. Go and face the wall. You're in so much trouble. What's the woman?
I'm rebelling. No, what's that? I'm rebelling.
Go on.
Go on.
Go on.
What's a female?
Females, yeah.
What's a woman's perspective of winners of
Podcast.
my podcast? Yeah, or me and the whole thing outside looking in. What do you oh, see them intelligent.
Round the room.
I like that. I like that as a
What
question.
do.
All right, so
Uh-huh.
I've watched quite a few episodes actually. I would say
Appreciate that.
I'll go through the parts that I really like.
Go on.
I really like the journey that you take people on when you're asking them questions and you get an insight into their backgrounds.
Can I ask which ones you've seen so I can kind of know what you're?
This is a
Oh,
test.
Poe,
It's not. It wasn't a test. Was it?
Chucky's. I watched Queen Ice Cream as well.
Yes. Okay, that's right. So I know what you're
And
dealing with.
gigs.
Okay,
so
cool.
I watched that one.
There's some older ones as well
Yeah,
that I've
but
watched.
I've got no idea. Those ones are fresher to the memory.
Yeah, I like how you do that, and I think I can see the audience that you're appealing to as well, and you have been very consistent in how you are. I think it's important. All I would like is sometimes when Doug gets involved, I enjoy it when he shares more, but sometimes he echoes too much.
Agrees.
That's my only criticism. I'm always like, can Doug just say his opinion and not echo what you have said? That's it. But generally, I enjoy your episodes. Like I truly am. Like, yeah,
That's
it was
good.
good.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Okay,
Crept and
that's-
Conan,
that's-
I really enjoyed.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed that episode.
I was happy.
I
to do
agreed.
That. I was happy to do that episode as well because and timing wise, it wasn't planned. You know. Like
Oh,
the whole-
serious?
No, we didn't know that. It was planned, but not planned that all this save ways stuff.
Yeah,
was- We planned this a few. We'd been planning it from a year ago. They said we're dropping a project. And the date was already booked in. Then 3 days before this whole Safeways thing kicked off, so it wasn't planned in that sense. So I was happy to try and give people a bit more perspective.
Yeah, you let them share
Yeah.
what was going on and give some more context to it. It was good.
I just like the fact that you're relatable and you seem like someone that I grew up with, so I know where you're coming from, and I like the conversations. I really like hearing men talk and just let their guard down and just be comfortable just to talk shit out. And I like the juxtaposition of where you've come from. You don't deny your roots, but then you're normalizing being where you're from, being who you are, but elevating and not having to stay stuck in the mud in that respect, so people can see you as a viable, accessible path to getting out of the bits. And I really like that. I think you do that very, very well. You don't lose your integrity when doing it. Haven't heard no shit about you. We'll be on to you if we do.
Yeah, I don't think you will.
Okay.
Keep it that way.
Yeah, exactly.
He pays
I like
them
that.
off. No,
Someone else deals with it, innit?
he's sitting over there. He deals with it.
Yeah.
I just think you need more female guests.
People say that, but I do
happened?
feel it's not been too bad.
How many? Out of 100. Of all your guests, how many?
I ain't seen
hear
too many.
you.
women
I ain't
on.
seen too many.
Okay, who have you seen?
You had that woman
Queen.
that had the driving thing. She had a name.
Sherilyn.
That was it. You had her on.
Oh,
I think you've had Kelly LaRock on.
Yes.
You had Zion.
Louise.
You've had
Zion.
Zion.
Bad Zion.
Easy
Yeah,
on.
but this is in relation to
Cream.
how many
No
shows
Lay.
you've done.
Justna.
What, how many
Esther.
episodes? Wait.
What's
How
the
many
percentage?
They're on
episodes?
fair episodes as
What's
well.
the
Yeah.
percentage? I
gonna-
see what you're doing. What's
Yeah,
the
that's what I'm
percentage?
saying.
I
Like,
feel
how
like
many
it's
episodes?
probably been about 15% women have been
So you
on.
can do more.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. That's something I'm very vigilant on. In fact, one of my guys yesterday, we keep it in house. His nephew, who does our YouTube shorts, and that, he's like, we need some women on. We need to
balance it out a bit.
And I said, yeah, absolutely. But we did just have Cream on the other day,
Yeah, but that's a
Yeah.
one.
That was one.
Seriously.
Let's not do that.
Come on,
It
man.
was a good one anyway because Creamer's going to talk properly and she did. Like, she's
Be
a
happy
good
with
guest
that
to have on.
because, I like
Yeah, it was
Cream,
good.
I
it
like
was good.
him. I was happy to facilitate that conversation.
Well, you'll have us on soon, as you said.
Exactly. We're gonna keep making sure there are plenty of. Only joking. Plenty of women on. No females.
Almost.
No females.
Thank you, Pounds, for
More than
spending
welcome.
time
Thank
with
you
us.
for
Say
having
that
me.
you
Yeah,
don't
you
chat
didn't
shit.
get-
Oh,
That was
sorry,
it.
yeah, go on.
There's a lot of black men out there with pods chatting shit and degrading
definitely.
women, and you're not doing that. So
Yeah, no, that's important to me. That's important to me. Yeah, I always think my sons are watching. That's how I run.
okay,
That's-
I love that.
That's the moral compass I run from. I want my sons to be able to watch this one day. If they're not watching now, I want them to be able to watch it. It's gonna be there, and other people's children as well. So yeah, that's where I'm coming from with it. I wouldn't want them to look at me and see any kind of,
Yeah.
trying to lead by example. I think it's important. I think if more men led by example,
Amen.
and women obviously, but
Yeah.
we're not gonna get
But
into all
more
of that
men,
'cause I need
because
to
men
go and
rule
do
the
my
world. But
podcast.
yeah,
know,
The world
right?
would be a better place.
It would.
it
Yeah.
literally would.
Stop swinging their. Anyway.
Penises.
Anyway, okay, right. So I was scrolling the other day, and you know what? For me, I don't know what happened, but in this whole kind of like TikTok being shut down and everything like that, it seems like I lost Amanda Stills, and then she just came back.
Okay.
So I saw something from her and I was like happy. I haven't seen your content for ages, and then I saw her post and she was talking about that she's going to leave Meta platforms. So she's going to leave TikTok, or not TikTok, sorry, Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Potentially WhatsApp as well. Not that I'm in a WhatsApp group with her, but I would like to be. She's leaving those platforms, and it got me thinking. And I thought, like, wow, because she's going to lose money.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If she comes off those platforms, she says she's set a date as well.
First of Feb, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it got me thinking, like, because of what's happening with the social media platforms, and they've basically kissed the ring to Trump.
Yeah.
She's standing on business and she's saying that she doesn't want to be a part of this. Would you consider leaving these platforms as well? Like, and also, Not that I think that she would.
In support of Amanda Seales, or just
Well, no,
for your
just
own self.
for your
Bigger
own.
cause.
Yeah.
for the bigger picture.
And what if she came back?
What would you do?
Yeah. How would you feel about that? Because a lot of people say, I'm off Instagram, I'm not going to be here no more. And then a couple of months later,
Yeah.
Never.
hi, they come back.
I think they were shadow banning Amanda Seales for me anyway, because I was getting her content all the time, and then all of a sudden I just was not. And then that popped up, same as you, really. I will miss her because I love Amanda, not just because I think she's my cousin somehow, somewhere.
I was gonna say you kind of favour her.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
She does.
I'm Canadian and she's Canadian too.
I'm
so you
Grenadian
never
as well,
know.
you know. I never knew.
Are
that.
you
Or half.
Grenadian?
Yeah.
Oh,
Half
which
and half.
part?
The whole of my mum's side is Grenadian still.
You could really be my family.
Right,
We'll get to that later.
We'll get to that.
But yeah, so I actually think that because Amanda stands on business, she's only going to come back if some shit changes. I think in its current form, she's not going to just come back and be, oh, here I am again. No, I trust her in that respect.
Would you do it?
I don't make enough money for it to matter at the moment, you know.
But
And
does that have to be a deciding factor?
No. But I think for it to be like a statement, like hers is a statement, isn't it? I suppose if everybody did it, it would be a statement. There is that. But I think what I did do, there was a girl on Instagram, and she was showing how you can make sure that these companies don't make as much money from you.
Okay.
So she showed you how to go into all of your settings and disable a whole bunch of things that stops them from being able to promote so much advertising, and that's how they make their money. So I thought, okay, that's a good solution so far. So that's what I did.
Would you?
Okay.
Would I want leave?
Leave.
Yeah.
Outside of business purposes, yeah, of course. Because if it wasn't for business, I wouldn't be on there in the first place. I'm not that concerned with those kind of social media platforms. But right now, with how business is going and the necessity of it, no, I wouldn't leave just now. Why are you leaving?
I'm not yet. I don't know. I saw what I meant. I deleted my ex.
Yeah.
I actually deleted it. That's the British Blacklist, 12 years of Twitter. I deleted it the other day. That was like,
Did you archive or delete?
I actually deleted
I
it.
deleted
Oh,
Serious?
not
Yeah.
permanent.
Oh,
that's a big
wow.
statement.
I deleted it.
Especially
because,
I could delete
TBB.
X.
That's a huge
We could
statement.
start with X, yeah.
yeah.
If we're gonna,
Like,
I
that's
don't
what-
really use that platform anyway.
So that's the
So that's easy.
Like,
I
yeah.
literally, when I deleted, I was like, I actually didn't remember
No,
my
we use it.
password.
I've got that's 12 years of my business.
Did you download the data?
I've deleted it.
You was absolutely like, I'm off.
That's it.
Okay.
Because I mean, to be like the catch-all is like all the content is available on the website.
Okay.
So it is what it is. So you know,
Insta though, so then
so
Insta is your
Instagram is our most
platform.
visible platform for the British Blacklist. If I was to delete that, I don't feel comfortable deleting that. I don't.
Why is that? Because that is a big part of your business.
Yeah, but we're not. To be fair, we're not making money off Insta.
Instagram.
So, but there is something about Insta, the attachment that I have to it, I guess, and how much work is on there. I'd have to think about that.
But we have to bear in mind as well, Amanda Seales has numerous revenue streams outside of this. So she can afford to say, yeah, I'm just going to leave. And she acts, she's comedy, she does whatever she wants to do. She could even be in contact with another company that's coming out with something and you don't know what's going on behind the scenes because there's other platforms developing constantly. So I don't think everyone should necessarily follow suit because Amanda Seales said it, because she's already very financially stable in a lot of ways. Everyone's situation is a little different, in my opinion.
I'm not leaving, but
I'm not leaving.
I'm not leaving anything. But I understand the boycotting, and I fully support her and anybody else that would like to do that. But at this moment in time in my growth, I actually need my Instagram, and I do think I'm half and half. Yes, Amanda Seales has other revenue streams, but she still needs Instagram. That's her signpost, and it's great that she is doing this big grandstand. I'm all for the revolution and the revolutionaries. I just can watch them.
Or support them in other ways.
In spirit.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about it. I don't post as much on Instagram at all anymore. I really don't.
Why is that?
I've just fallen out of love with it. I think it's just, it's too hard for what you want to do. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like the algorithm constantly works against you, and it's just like it's just sucked the fun out of it. So I liked creating before, and I liked posting all that kind of stuff, and I thought it was like fun, but it's just sucked the fun out of it. So yeah, so it doesn't interest me as much. I would struggle more with WhatsApp because that is basically
forgot about
where
that. Hell no.
I conduct business on a daily basis. So I would struggle. I don't have a good enough alternative for WhatsApp at the moment.
You haven't used Telegram before?
I
used to use
don't.
Telegram.
Yeah, there's not enough people on it for it to be my main thing,
I actually
right?
forgot about WhatsApp in that whole conversation.
Yeah,
Same
we need to
for
revisit
work.
this now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for work, like I need WhatsApp because
Yeah.
we have WhatsApp groups for like all different types of productions.
Exactly.
I have to, in order to keep track of everything that's going on.
Yeah.
I need WhatsApp, not even just from a social perspective, but actually for work.
But then I don't like this that I'm in this position where I'm dependent on this platform where the leader has particular views that I'm not in line with.
Yeah.
That's wild to me that I'm in this situation. I hate that. I hate it so much.
That's problematic.
Yeah.
I hear you. But most of the things that go on, the person at the helm, you're probably in disagreement with them. But
Yeah,
it's
but
just
like,
not so in your. it's
keep
not
it
so
to yourself.
dominant.
Like,
That's
do you know what I
it
mean?
is. It's not
Don't
so
go
in your
on the
face.
platform and tell me that you don't like me.
Yeah.
Like, do you know
And
what I
then
mean?
we're using
Like,
it.
seriously,
They're mugging us off in our
Yeah.
face.
You know, some of them, they'll just be like, you know.
I don't want to know you're racist.
Yeah.
But Instagram's been good. I can't like Instagram kind of works for me. It's been good for what I do, so I can't really knock it. I get my algorithm works for me at times.
What about Facebook?
It used to.
Yeah.
Facebook
Have you still got
used
your
to be
Facebook?
big.
That was a very respectful answer.
They're still there, and I see that my post will say share to Facebook.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, you don't
don't
have
have
it on automatically.
I think so. We got Facebook. We're appreciative of all. We got Facebook. Yeah, we're still there. for Facebook people.
I can't even. I try to log into mine to check something. It says something's happened to your account, so I can't even log in.
What?
I don't know what's happened. I don't know. Yeah, Facebook.
I'm having similar with Facebook as well.
Yeah.
There's something that's going on. That's why I haven't been able to sort out aunties on there.
Oh.
Like I literally
my.
hate trying to contact Facebook people.
Oh no, that's the worst.
I've got a whole rant about it.
Yeah, that's the worst.
No, you got to know someone
They just
there.
send you to a bot,
have to
and then the
know
bot sends you
someone
to a
there.
bot, and after that bot, it sends you to another bot, and then when you eventually get to a person, it sends you to a bot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's by design.
I hate it. It's on purpose.
Yeah.
All right, guys, welcome to Your Aunties Could Never. I'm Auntie AK, the auntie of all aunties, and I'm here with...
I'm Farah, your resident Caribbean queen.
I'm Nana, aka the Black Fairy, aka Dark and Lovely.
And I'm all things sugar and Shay Sade.
Hey! And we are here. We are joined by the Podfather, the UK's Podfather, Mr. Pound Sterling.
Yeah, thank you, ladies.
Welcome,
I'll take the title.
Welcome.
What do you
Thank you,
prefer?
thank you for having
Pounds,
me.
Mr. Pounds,
Mr.
Sir
Sterling.
Pounds, Sterling.
I get them all, but pounds. 9 out of 10 times they call me pounds.
Okay. Are you an uncle or are you an auntie? Not an auntie. Are you an uncle? Sorry.
I'm definitely not auntie.
Are you an uncle? Are you an uncle? Are you an uncle?
Yeah, my
Definitely he's
uncle.
uncle.
Understand? You don't want to misgender somebody, do you?
You're not allowed to miss it. Sorry, my bad.
Because my top says masculine.
Yeah.
I hear that.
We're gonna get into there. All right, guys. So, some announcements. First of all, you must.
Boop the like button, 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 boop the like button.
See you now.
Boop it
Like that.
now. Also, you've got to subscribe to our membership. How much does it cost, guys?
It's $4.99.
And
$1.99 as well.
Basically, if you want to just support us, it's $1.99. But if you want to be family and be in this team and get all the content and access to members, lives and all sorts of things, it's only $4.99 and it's still cheaper than a bag of chips.
all right, darling. And if you're listening on the podcast airways, that's Apple, Spotify, and all the other places. We need you to do some things. Shade.
We just want 5 stars. Just give us 5 stars. Leave a lovely comment. We may read them out eventually. But
It's coming, it's coming.
Yeah, one day.
We'll have a whole show
About
about
all the
Well,
comments.
sure. Yeah, please. Yeah. And if not, return to sender. There you go.
Thunder and lightning, if you don't.
very frightening.
All right, and just a reminder that we are just your aunties. We're not experts. We're just sharing our thoughts and opinions. Please do your own research, source your own facts, draw your own conclusions. Thank you, please.
But we're always right, though. Not really.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
All right, guys, now it's time for Enemy of Progress. This is where we help you decipher who's the enemy of progress in life this week. Who wants to go first? Shall I go first or somebody else go first?
You go first.
You go first.
Yeah, okay. All right, guys. My enemy of progress this week is Mr. DJ Akademiks.
Absolutely is an enemy.
I mean, he's already been an enemy multiple times.
Yeah.
Drake, Kendrick, just checking. Whose side are you on?
Kendrick.
Oh, just check.
Okay.
It's not a given. Don't know where your stars align. All right, DJ Akademiks. He's under heavy criticism after making sexually suggestive remarks to a 15-year-old Twitch streamer called Noor GXD during a live stream earlier this week or last week or whatever. So during the fortnight session, Akademiks repeatedly asked inappropriate questions, including whether another streamer, Playboy Max, could try effing with him and pressed, "Would you let Playboy Max F you?" And then when Noor did really well, he was kind of like, "Bro, what are you talking about? I'm 15 years old." Pushed back on those comments. And then they moved into kind of getting him to talk about sexual activity with women and saying oh, rappers lose their virginity at this age and with older women, all that type of stuff. Noor was pushing back. Akademiks, and apparently it was Tory Lanez' manager in the chat as well.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, but they were being just nasty. And at first, Akademiks was defensive, cussing everybody, blaming Kendrick fans for all his behaviour, all that stuff. He went on a spiral. Then he came back and tried to take accountability. But just generally, Akademiks needs to go in the bin. And on top of that, it's the grooming. Basically, it's grooming what he did of a young boy. You're a grown man talking nonsense to a little boy and thinking that's okay. And it's just this generalisation, this thing where it's okay to talk to boys and sexualise boys from a young age. And people don't really take that into account. It's like, oh, it's just bro talk. It's not just bro talk. It's dirty. It's nasty. Akademiks, piss off. How do you lot feel about Akademiks?
What? Not really.
Fuck him up.
Yeah, no, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Watching it and actually hearing them going back and forth and the kid getting uncomfortable, standing up, shaking his head, being like, I'm just a child. Even if somebody did sleep with me, they could catch a charge for this. All of that, him trying to advocate, piss off and leave me alone.
Yeah.
And they carried on is a real problem with older men and why you can't trust them with your kids. And I think that's it, because I'm not going to the point where it's like they wanted something from this kid.
Yeah.
But you were sexualizing him into a state of this is how we show masculinity. That's a problem.
Yeah.
And Akademiks has he's got charges. He has an assault case already. So he is absolutely showing himself to be a deviant at this moment in time. And I think he needs to lose all of his platforms. He's too influential to have this deviancy out there. I really am hoping that he loses Twitch, that he loses...
Twitch is gone.
Twitch is gone.
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
Oh, good.
I want him to lose all of his endorsements because really this guy needs to be investigated. Honestly. That reckless talk, we can't even take it as banter. You're a problem.
It's not banter. You're a full-grown adult and you're talking to a child like this. It's not banter. It's not. I don't understand what he's thinking and why he thinks this is acceptable. And like you said, Nana, the little boy was telling them in the chat, be careful with what you're saying. I'm only 15, guys. I'm only 15. He repeated it repeatedly. It was just I don't know. I don't like that guy anyway, and he just chats shit all the time, and it's just I've had enough of him.
What do you think? What do you think?
I agree with everything that you said. The thing is, a lot of these guys, they're in positions of power, but they're not mentally equipped to be leaders. They shouldn't be leaders. They haven't got the right life experiences. They haven't got the right empathy levels, and half of them are idiots. So they get in these positions, and people are listening to them, but they're not qualified in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, of course, if you're speaking to a child in that way, you'd have to be stupid. As a big man, you can't be in your right mind. So yeah, get him out of here.
But I saw a conversation about, it was FD Signify was talking about actually a lot of young boys have this, there's this normalisation about how sex is spoken to them by other men. You're young, you got to bust your cherry and it's okay. Lil Boozy got a prostitute for his son apparently. Yes. And Lil Wayne said Baby got a prostitute for him to break his virginity. So there's a bit of a normalisation, and he was 13, Lil Wayne was 13 apparently. So what do you think to that part of it where
that must be an American thing?
No, it's a UK thing too. I know guys have said that.
Not with my people.
When you boys have breaking their virginity in their early teens.
I know that. Listen, it is what it is, isn't it? Like, yeah, that side of things.
Okay.
Yeah, but I wasn't getting told, or we weren't getting told by older men or the elders around us. I don't think they were saying to us like, yeah, you know what, you don't need to go out and do this, or forcing the issue. So that's probably why we don't replicate it, because that wasn't something put upon us. We would know that that was more the boys will be boys amongst our age group, not from seniors. I have no recollection of that happening from seniors being like, yeah, you should go and do this, or haven't you done this yet? So
I know guys that have said that.
I know guys that have lost their virginity early, but I haven't ever heard guys say that I was told by the elders to go and do that. Like, that seems like some grooming shit. Because Diddy did that with Usher as well, isn't it? Like, you know, it's a weird thing that they're doing. It's like a power dynamic that is very strange to me. And I just don't... Yeah, I don't know what I think. I just think it's wrong, to be honest with you.
I think Akademiks, he's a funny guy, isn't he?
Yeah,
Just
funny guy.
Funny guy, man. I just can't rate him at all. Like, get him off the screens. You know what I mean? Just get him off the
Stop
platforms.
talking.
Like, honestly, like, it's just diabolical. And I just I just wondered if that was a little black kid, I don't know whether anything would happen. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just interesting that it's blown up in this way. I praise the kid and the parents for him to be able to handle himself that way as well. Do you know what I mean? Be able to quote laws and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That at that age, like, a lot of kids don't. And it's a good example of how to handle yourself when you're being approached by a predator. Like, you know, it's a learning. It's a lesson for a lot of for safety of young people online, especially when it comes to celebrities, right?
Yeah.
Because the pressure for you to just be like, to go along with it.
Yes.
You know, it's immense. It's immense. So yeah, he needs to hold some sort of charge for that, like something.
Well, he's lost Twitch, so let's see.
Is it being investigated? Is that an investigatable offence?
Yeah, it's
Should be.
I think while things are being looked into, they've removed him from the platform, and they're just going to do.
It could
was
be
an
seen as,
investigation.
it
they
could
had
be
to
seen
do.
as sexual harassment.
It could be.
That, or it could be like under like child something, like predatory behaviour.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
There is an investigation, but I don't know how deep it's going to go.
Okay.
But it's in public, it's out there. There's been backlash. They have to be seen to be doing something. So at the moment,
But it's the part about there's an investigation. You can see it. What's to be investigated?
But they have to do their due diligence.
I know, but the
words
due
that they
diligence
use.
is,
Yeah.
I've watched it, fuck you, you're off now.
Do you know what I mean?
It's due
Do you
diligence.
know what I mean? Literally, to catch a
it's in
predator.
plain
He just done
Yeah,
an
yeah, yeah.
episode of To Catch
Yeah.
a Predator.
For everyone to see.
Yeah.
Fool, absolute fool.
What
But
an absolute idiot.
yeah,
You know?
For
Full.
his placement, but also I did see people talking about, you know, his association with Drake and him always riding for Drake, and then you're doing things that people have said that Drake has done with other little girls as well. It's like maybe they are a pack.
Well, that's what Kendrick said.
Allegedly.
You don't go deep.
Allegedly.
I don't know about all of that. I don't know about all of that.
Just repeat what he said.
I don't
Kendrick
know.
said it. You're on Kendrick's side.
I just
Kendrick
thought,
won the battle. Kendrick won the battle.
But were you a Drake fan? Are you
Sure.
sad now? Because has Drake let you down? Has Drake let you
No,
down?
Drake could never let me down. It's never that deep.
Okay.
No,
He's
never.
never that
He
deep.
didn't let me down. He didn't let me down. I'm just saying that. When you say has he let me down, in what sense?
No, just like music, because I was a fan of Drake. He hasn't necessarily let me down. I'm being
he hasn't let me
dramatic,
down.
but it's just like it's disappointing to see someone that was on such a rise do nonsense.
It's unfortunate, but listen, my expectation of people in general, like I look past all the stardom and all of this stuff and kind of look at them as an individual, and my expectation isn't that high for certain people, you know. So no, I'm not really let down or surprised. Nothing really surprises me anymore, you know. You know, we see things that what really surprises you anymore in this when it comes to this.
was you surprised by Diddy though?
That's an intense question. Still, I was surprised by the magnitude
Yes.
of what's going on, as I
Yeah.
think we all were. We may have heard little whispers over the years.
Yeah. Did you hear
But
stuff?
I think we all did. Did you hear stuff?
I heard stuff.
Yeah, I think
But
we
I'm
all...
not a rapper, and as you're a rapper, it's like
I hear you. I hear you. I was
them
rapping.
streets.
I didn't hear it through rap circles.
Okay.
I heard
Okay.
it just the same kind of things that you
We
would
would
hear.
hear.
Okay.
And in fact, it was a lot of time it would be women that would be saying it to me, like, "Yeah, but you know the things they hear." You know, so yeah, I'm surprised by the magnitude and how heinous some of the crimes and accusations. I'm very surprised. You know, prayers and thoughts to the victims, allegedly, if they were victims.
Yeah, all of that. Everything is allegedly. Until it's
Cassie
not.
video
You need to
wasn't.
put that
Okay,
in
the Cassie video wasn't
in the
allegedly.
opening statement.
You know, everything is allegedly. All right, that was my enemy. Academics can go piss off.
Yes. All right. So my enemy. This is a question for you guys. Again, I'm not too sure if he is an enemy yet, but I was a really big fan of tonight's conversation.
Yeah.
Like, truly loved what Ace Metaphor had created. They're a set of podcasters in America. He got them all together, content creators. You go around and they did a tour to thousands of people. I was like, this is amazing. It would be great if we had something like this in the UK. And probably I would think somebody like you or Chucky would be the person to create that type of space for us to all go on stage and start chatting away. But I digress. Anyway, so Ace Metaphor, I really was like, it would have been great if this grew and it was amazing and he came and did a show in the UK. His kind of content creators are now all leaving him, and Keita Rose is out here saying he's actually abusive.
No, mate.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's gone on. People are doing videos, lives. It's such a shame for what he created, but I stand with Keita Rose. For the evidence that she's put forward, I actually think he absolutely is an enemy of progress. He abused people, from what she's saying, allegedly.
In what way? What was the alleged abuse?
It's financial abuse, it's verbal abuse, and there may be some type of physical abuse
Ew.
of his exes as well, that she's putting forward some evidence of that. And then it comes to light that his brethren was Derek Jackson.
Oh, God.
That they used to run together,
Of course.
and they would do content back in the day that was out there for women. That, you know what Derek
Derek
Jackson
Jackson, blink twice if you're
yeah.
yeah,
He
yeah,
needs
I
help,
remember
yeah.
him. I remember him.
Yeah. Yeah, that guy.
You know,
He's a
he's a
bad
bit
guy.
of a grifter.
He's a proper bad guy.
That's it. He
That guy.
panders to women.
Yeah.
Ace Metaphor has been accused of also being a panderer to women as well, because they
Mate.
know this makes money. What do you guys think? Have you seen all of this? I think he may be the latest grifter on the streets. What say ye?
I watched tonight's conversation. I do like their little their sound bites and their discussions. There's been times when it's really annoying. I think we played a clip on News and Nonsense the other day when the guy was giving advice to women. And yeah, it was a bit manosphere-ish. And I was like, oh, mate. So there's a lot of that. Women coming up to the mic to be like, so my man hasn't spoken to me for 4 weeks and are we still in a relationship? All them type of things. And then all of that. It's interesting.
No.
No.
No is the answer to
It's
that one.
always the answer.
But always that,
you
there's
know.
that kind of exploration. It's, you know, it's great.
But they want a man to break it down.
yeah.
Because that's the
So
only
all
way you
that-
can receive
Yeah, yeah,
information.
yeah.
Okay.
But I get it. It's cultural conversation. We love a good culture conversation. We love man-woman debate. So it was serving a purpose. So seeing it all fall apart is annoying. I don't know, you know, let's just see. I'm inclined to believe the Keita. And the fact that he was brethren with Derek Jackson is a problem for me. Where is Derek?
He's still doing his thing. He's selling books.
So women are still buying his books, yeah?
He has content still in his car.
Where's his wife?
He does.
He's still out here.
Where's his wife? Is his wife still wearing a bonnet?
No, she's not.
She gone? They're not
she's,
together anymore.
No, she's not together. They're not together.
Nah, he's
Yeah.
divorced.
She was doing her own thing. She was selling her own course or something.
Yeah.
or
On what?
something.
Prayer.
Yeah.
She's a Christian.
How
warrior.
do you survive? How you survive that
After.
situation? Yeah.
Yeah.
But the blueprint is kind of like his
Yeah, same.
blueprint. So they could be in cahoots. Who knows?
Probably because she
Yeah.
was taking it. How do you feel? Do you know about tonight's conversation?
I don't, you know, I'm just listening and taking it in. I'm not aware of them to be.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
you
I'm
ain't
not-
seen their
yeah.
clips? You've definitely
Maybe if I see
their
the clips, then I'd be like, oh, I've seen this.
Yeah, you must
No,
have seen
from the
their
name,
clips,
no,
'cause it was
not
everywhere.
straight away.
What about it?
It's funny that you said Derek Jackson, because before you said Derek Jackson, I was thinking it's giving Diddy. So it was giving, just the way that you were describing it, I was getting a few Diddyisms out of that, you know, controlling.
It's just annoying when
business
stuff
and in life,
implodes, isn't it?
relationships and all that stuff, and quite shady. But
Could that work in the UK though?
What's
like,
that?
could we actually, let's say you take 1 or 2 people from every pod, go on tour and tour around, would we be able to work with each other? Because what they're showing is that they're
people can't
backing
work
up,
together.
they're backing up that thing that black people can't work together.
Because it was fuck it up with nonsense.
It was going so successfully, but then it seems like there's always this crazy head person that is an abuser. Do we think that this could work in the UK? Could we all work together?
You know what? It's different on the road. So that's where things would change. Because one of the things that I try to do is try to bring the people together. That's why I work with other pods and whatever. So to show that it can be done, to show that, yeah, we can work together. It doesn't have to be, I don't like him because he's doing this. I don't like her because she's doing this. You might take away my views. It doesn't have to be that. So I think ideally it could be done if you put the right set of people together. In fact, I'd be confident that, yeah, it could be done with the right set of people.
Yeah. And could go on the road and tour around.
The road is where it gets difficult. People get cranky. People get angry. People want more money. How come he's getting this? How come he's getting that? You know? That's where issues start.
Which pods would you go on the road with?
I was just going to say, we're waiting for the invite.
Yeah. That's coming.
Plan.
But on the road with, who would you say?
And the invites we've spoke about already. I already said. Let them know. I already said we're going to return visit.
Oh, you was going by yourself.
But top 3 pods, who would you go on the road?
If I'm going on the road,
Yeah.
who have I been on with already? Who's been on my show already? So 3 shots.
Literally had almost everybody.
Except you guys. But as I said, it's been patterned. If you didn't tell, if Akua didn't tell you,
Outing me and everything.
You heard him.
Yeah, no, because
You don't see
I
us
heard
on his
there was
show
some
next.
shade thrown my direction. So I had to just let it be known. I already said this. Yeah. I'm shade free. I got the shades on. So I just had to forward and say, listen, I already let it be known.
What's the messaging tonight? Oh, go on.
The top 3. Who would you
But go on, top. So who's been on 90s Babies? Been on, so I'll say 90s Baby, 3 shots. Chucky, I guess. Yeah, 90s Baby, 3 shots. Chucky.
So all guys, yeah.
An all-male lineup.
That's
You
all
gave
guys.
me 3.
Yeah.
Don't try that.
Even in your
You gave me
free.
You could have given.
How many people you
So
interviewed?
tell me, how many female podcasts are there?
There's loads. There's us. There's the receipts. There's
Receipts ain't come up.
Uncut. Yeah.
There's
My
the
sisters.
2 girls that do it in their kitchen.
Like you gave,
Yeah.
You don't even know their name. Kelly and
My
Ange.
sisters.
There we go.
Okay. He's
Yeah, go on. See, I'm tapped in. And ask everyone that you've mentioned I've had some kind of communication either to tell them, listen, keep like whether it's Audrey, I speak to Audrey, whether it's Kelly and Ange, I send them a support and say we're going to organise, but there's only so many weeks. Yeah, only so many. I'm putting all many kind of faces. We're making sure, but I've already you didn't mention Cream, ZZ.
yeah.
We only had 3.
Yeah.
We've had
See, now you only had 3. That's my point. You only gave me 3. You gave me 10 now. I'd be making, of course. There must be female representation.
Who won the podcast award nominations?
Oh, yeah. So Made You Think, he did a whole podcast thing. Like, these are the podcasts
Shout out
of the
AP.
years.
Shout out Made You Think.
No.
No.
He's not. He
Why
wouldn't
not?
have
He
been.
had one female podcast on there, Madam
The Sound
Joyce.
of Rooms
1
and
out of 10.
Okay.
That's lame. 1 out of 10, not even the receipts.
I hear you, but he's
yeah,
probably
Madam
coming from a standpoint of what he knows of and what he listens to.
Yeah.
So you might just be out of his radar. Because he's a good guy still. He's a good guy.
He can come on the pod, but he's in the bin.
He's in the bin.
Get out of the bin and come on the pod.
Now that you've spoken to me about it, I will speak to him in my position as the, what do you call me, the podfather? I'm going to speak to him. I'm going to really come out and say, listen, them girls are on to you, you got to make sure you fatten up.
That's all we need. That's all we need.
They're on to you. No,
There's a
mate.
little nudge from the pod.
I'll just let him, if he's not already aware, I'll make sure that he's aware.
Yeah,
No, you know what he did
posted
do? He posted us.
Go on, Nana.
I'm on my high horse now.
No,
He
please,
posted
speak.
us, and he only posted half of the clip. He didn't post us talking about it. So he took my work and only posted.
And Nana,
What was the other half?
did he clip?
It was
tag it as well?
It
I
was
swear he
about.
didn't.
It was Andrew Schultz talking about shits and gigs and
Yeah.
the reaction to it, the apology. And instead of doing the full clip where we talk about it beforehand and then show the clip, he just took the clip.
And didn't
And
at
didn't
us.
tag us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
He's in trouble, you know. He's in
A
trouble.
lot of
with
the time,
aunties.
it's not actually him. He's got some people that do it.
Whatever the case
But
is.
you need to talk to your team then.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You're
Because
out of
what you're
order.
doing in that moment, you're raising black women's work.
Honestly,
That's
that's
what
what
you're
you're
doing.
I'm
doing.
not going to do that. Is that what we're doing? No. But I'm going to speak to him tomorrow. I've got to defend the brothers as well. That's easy it is for us to get rubbed out. I'm going to speak to him tomorrow and just say, listen, I know it wasn't deliberate, but this is how it was interpreted.
Make it right.
And now.
The podfather wants to handle it.
Yeah, I'm going to...
Yes, all right.
The whole think pieces on this.
I'll forward that message
You
on.
know now, when I have a gripe, I'm coming to you.
Yeah.
No, don't do that. Because I thought I got too much of that already. I got way too much of that. Way too much of that. Go on.
Charlotte, who's your enemy of progress?
Oh, my enemy of progress is, oh God, okay. It's a bit of a difficult one. It's a bit of a sticky one still. So in the States at the moment, some companies are rolling back their DI efforts. Yeah?
Yes.
So we know this is happening. And some of them are really big companies, like McDonald's and Target is one of them that keeps coming up at the moment, because there were a lot of black creators who have deals with Target and their products are in Target stores. And some of these creators have come out and say, okay, I know you want to boycott Target, but my stuff is in there, so can you buy my stuff?
Yeah.
And boycott everything else? I just don't think it's sitting well. No. I really don't. I'm just like, I think Target is for sure an enemy, for sure. But these creators, these black creators, and one of them is Tabitha Brown, and I do like her.
Yeah.
I do. But like, I just thought what she was saying was tone deaf. Like, and as, obviously definitely not as successful as her, but as a business owner, a black business owner as well, if I was in that position, I would like to think that I would be like, you know what? I need to deal with this and not pressure my community to do something that they don't want to do.
Yeah.
That's what I would like to think how I would deal with it. Obviously, I wouldn't know because I'm not in that situation. But what do you guys think? Is herself or people like her, are they enemies? Or
Enemies
I want to call Tabitha an
I
enemy.
I know. It's uncomfortable.
Enemy behaviour.
It is.
Because you're aligning yourself. You're saying, actually, you guys need to still shop in Target, although other employees may lose their livelihoods because of this. But my money is more important, and I don't like that at all. I think that's wrong. I don't think anybody should be doing that. What she should be doing is trying to find other ways to distribute her product to her community. That should be, there's an opportunity here, really. And maybe align yourself with an ethical, company. That's what she should be doing. So yeah, she is, I don't care, I don't know her. She is an enemy of progress.
I don't know enough on it to, to What?
You pleaded the fifth.
But you all spoke well and eloquently on the subject.
So if you had a product, Say if you had a product. No.
Yeah, I know the ones. Go around and bring it back. Yeah.
You had a product, Your product is in Sainsbury's,
Yes.
In Sainsbury's. Everyone can get your product in Sainsbury's. And then Sainsbury's comes out, and this could very well happen in the world that we live in. And like, you know what? All the DI stuff that we've been doing, we're taking it back. We're not prioritizing any black initiatives. We're not putting money into the black community, provide products like activations or anything. We're not doing that anymore. Are you telling me that you're going to be on your Instagram, say, you know what, guys, I know this is happening, but still buy my stuff because I don't know where to stock it.
Still got to buy my masculine shit.
Right, so my contract is still with them, so it's going to be in the stores for another how long?
Like a year or two.
Yeah, let's assume.
I'm just not going to say anything. I'm just going to let my product do what it does.
That part.
Okay.
Because that's what I think she should have done.
Yeah,
She shouldn't be going online and telling no one to do nothing like that. It's tone deaf. You know, there are going to be so many people that lose their jobs who can't afford to do shit. You're pretty comfortable, love. You're all right. Even if no one buys your shit again because they're not going into Target, you're still okay. I'm not saying it's not going to hurt you. It is. But this is your opportunity to explore other ways of distributing your stuff. And maybe look at distributing it yourself or aligning with a bunch of other people who are currently in Target who are affected by this as well.
Yeah.
You know, hit them where it hurts. Hit them in their pocket. Yeah. That's what you do. You don't go online and start telling people, you know what, I know these people are racist, but you know, like, they're not racist to me.
Still buy
my things. Like, no.
It's not okay.
That's enemy behaviour. It is.
No, I think you lot have said it nicely. I agree.
Without you calling her an enemy.
Oh, she's an
I
enemy.
see what you did.
Oh no, I wasn't even thinking like that. I wasn't doing that. But yeah, generally, I think you can't put pressure on people to feel sorry for you because the situation you're in. Absolutely not. I think there's a black-owned doll brand called Beautiful Curly Me, and they said the boycott could lead to their products being removed, saying if you don't buy our products in Target, they will cancel us from their shelves and make us buy back the products they already purchased from us. And yes, you've got a black doll brand, but that's not necessarily the only people, black people aren't the only people that might buy your dolls. So you're assuming that only black people buy your stuff. So, but yet you probably went into Target to have, yes, accessibility. You wanted a bigger market.
Yeah.
So then have faith in that. Why, if anything, don't just tell black people to stop. Tell everybody, like, guys, don't boycott. But that targeting of the community, making people have to feel bad and play on our emotional heartstrings. I
just don't think it's fair when there's going to be so many people that are affected by this.
That's what I'm saying.
Like normal, everyday people that are affected and going to lose their jobs. You're expecting the world to feel sorry for you when you're probably okay.
Yeah.
And you have other means of like pursuing it. You just haven't done it yet. This is forcing you to look at other streams, isn't it?
Yeah, they might not be okay, to be fair, and it might have a massive effect, or it might be the end of that part of their business. That is true, and that is very unfortunate. But I would say, like, if you want to call on anyone, call on your allies. Call on allies across the world, who are not going to be affected by this DEI rollback, and they should go to Target and buy these things. Is it not?
That's what I mean.
If that's
okay, I hear you.
do you know what I mean?
Don't just call them blacks.
It's just like, why must we always?
You know what I was reading though was that DEI will impact white women.
Oh yes,
way more than black folks. I was like, I never knew this. But they're actually going to be impacted. So all of those little MAGA people that are out here being like, Trump is the king, you're probably going to lose your job.
Yeah. You know, they're on the road to the find out.
There's a lot of this happening this week in all the things that Trump has signed off. There's a lot of people finding out that you fucked around.
And found out. 100%.
Happening.
Who's your enemy?
So
you can go either or either.
Oh. Well, I'm going to go top one because I don't know the bottom one too tough.
All right.
And that's not really my people, just saying. My enemy are the M23 rebels, and they are advancing. They have advanced into Goma, and they're taking hold of the city, and it's a city in Congo, and it's escalating a long-running conflict. I don't know if you've managed to see any of the footage, but you can see people having like escaping en masse and having shots fired at them. And the Western world are coming out and condemning it. Some of them are, I've actually seen it on some platforms that haven't actually highlighted the conflicts before, like it's been on BBC and they're talking about it. And the Americans have come out and they've officially condemned Rwanda's involvement. But the problem is Rwanda are just the gun for hire. They're not the ones behind it, and that's not. I'm not excusing anything that they're doing, because it's awful what's happening to these people. But what is behind it is billionaires making money and extorting all the resources that are in Congo for their own personal gain. We've talked about the fact that Elon Musk is like the richest man in the world, and he has a wealth of 433 billion, yet for all the country that his resources to make his shit work comes from, they're living in poverty and they're escaping from death and rape and pillage and all of these things that's going on. So as much as the M23 are rebels are definitely in the bin, so are the US government, so is the UK government, so are a bunch of European governments as well. So have you guys seen it? And I don't even know what to say about it. I'm glad that it's actually getting some press finally.
I think that's my. I was gonna say I think that's my thing, because there's the fashionable issues of the world, and then there's what goes on in Africa and the Caribbean that doesn't get as much attention unless it's like to the bare bones, like the famine, and that's when there's like Band-Aid them days there. But other than that, stuff that goes on constantly in our home countries, it rarely gets the headlines. This Congo thing's been going on for time. And it's only now it's starting to pick up steam. So I appreciate that, because I don't want it to be a fad or a fashion, but now it's being spoken about more, because it's been going on for ages. We've been told long about how our mobile phones, our devices are all powered by resources found in Africa and destroying African countries. And the meddling that the West does just for their gain is so fucking annoying. So, I just want more exposure. They're all in the bin. The West has been in the bin for time. I hope, because the counteract is that there are a lot of African countries and Caribbean countries that are rejecting versions of Western rule, whether it's changing their names, getting rid of the figureheads, getting people to get out, like telling military bases to come out and all that type of stuff. So I'm hoping this becomes more of a thing where black people in our home countries start to realise that, depending on the West is not the way forward.
I feel complicit in this.
Yeah.
Holding my hands up. I watched the last moments of a soldier.
Oh, yeah.
And he called his best friend to say, look after my family. And I'm watching it on my phone.
Yeah.
And I literally was like, yeah, I'm a shit too. Because everybody that is buying into this, we are all complicit in this. Are we all going to drop our devices and really be like our fellow brethrens are out here mining, like their kids are mining, and not have a phone and not have our computers? I feel complicit in this. I don't feel like I have a moral compass to really go at anybody. And honestly, hands up, I totally am like, I feel like an absolute hypocrite.
But do you know
I hate
what, Nana?
it, but I feel like a hypocrite.
But do you know what? There are things that you can do. And like, for example, I'm not buying a new phone. I'm not. Like, my phone's like 2 years old. I'm just not going to buy a new phone. It's like boycotting, isn't it? It's like boycotting products that support Israel, boycotting McDonald's or whoever the fuck it might be.
Phone breaks.
You can get a reconditioned phone, and that's what
buy
I would
another
do.
one after?
No, I'm not buying a new. You hear what I'm saying? I'm not buying
buy
a new
one.
phone.
So you're gonna
Anything
make
I
sure-
have is
Got
going to
you.
be reconditioned
Got you.
because that's not funding.
Then it's not funding.
It's
yeah.
not funding,
I'm with
and
you.
it's small things. And you know, I understand what you mean about feeling complicit.
Yeah.
But they're getting the message out there, and at the moment, they're having to use the resources. But as long as we know, okay, you know now, what are you going to do now? You know, how are you going to do? How are you going to help this? Helping them is also passing on that message and making sure that it gets out there and people hear what's going on, so that, you know, it's small, isn't it? But everything amounts to something
I
bigger.
like what you said about the phone and how you clarified it as well, because people know now. That's actually a gem someone could take on board from that. Because if you're not buying the new one, then you're not funding it. I hear you. It's small things.
Small things.
They count.
I think you got to follow the money as well, which
Yeah.
might be not clear to us now, but usually it is the same people that are condemning it are the people doing it. You know,
Absolutely.
so
Yes.
yeah.
Didn't they want
that
to send?
part, that's the part that's
didn't
annoying.
Britain want to send? Weren't they in bed with Rwanda the other day?
They're trying to
Weren't they?
send
they're
immigrants
sending
there.
people.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
All the time. No, it pisses me off. It is really, it's disgusting. And watching Shaka Bars, like, you know, it's like I donated to his trust to build the houses for the orphans and everything else, and that they've actually now had to be evacuated, and that looked like a lovely thriving place.
Yeah.
It pisses me off. Like, honestly, it's so soul destroying. We've watched Palestine, and now you're seeing this escalate in Congo as well. When are we going to have peace on this earth?
No answer
There's
to
a
that.
whole bunch of people at the top that have to die first. That's not mean something violent.
Still,
I'm not
you
inciting
can't-
violence,
cut
but-
the head is the what do you call it? What's it?
I know,
head
but
off
you
the
know what?
saying.
You know,
Something else will
absolutely, but
grow
you know
back.
what? Rome must fall, right? Isn't that the saying? Something has to change, innit?
Yeah, but it just shifts to another
Yeah,
space.
well, hopefully it'll shift to this space round Yasser.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Hopefully.
I think it's the way
people need to recognise that we're not the minority in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been sold a lie.
Yeah, definitely. I think, I don't know. It's uncertain times really at the moment, because like if the African nations like banded together, they could probably resolve this, but there's just so much.
Dissent.
Yeah, like there's just so much going on. Like in South Africa at the moment, they've just passed this law which means that any person that owns land has to prove how they got it.
Oh.
And they're starting to take back the law. I think this is just coming just recently. So they're starting to take back the land. But that's literally just happened. We're going to see what the repercussions of that are going to be and how that's going to be reported in our home countries.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Because, you know, they're trying to say, you know, the, you know, majority white people there that own the land there are trying to say that, you know, this is, they're being attacked, they're being oppressed and all this kind of stuff. And it's that narrative.
Okay,
you know?
like Zimbabwe.
Like Zimbabwe.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to see the fallout of that. And it's just like they've got, you know, they've got the right idea, you know? And if they had the I don't even know. I don't know how it works, but if they had, they could, you know, give them military support and stuff to Congo and kind of trying to dead this, you know? And that's
There
the
are
thing.
people in Congo. I did see there was other forces that actually were supporting the Congolese government to fight against the Rwandans. Like there was other African nations. But I guess we got to watch this in
Yeah.
the same way that you have Burkina Faso, you have all
Yeah,
of the other
exactly.
the French-speaking countries, Mali, like turfing out the French.
yeah.
We have to keep an eye
Protect
on how
them
this
at
would
all
go.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
love Ghana to do the
Sade,
same.
every
It's not
time
gonna
I
happen.
see that man, I say
protect him at all costs.
Oh, he doesn't eat anything. He has people that eat before him. Before
Yeah.
he
Oh,
okay.
like,
Yeah,
he is
yeah.
really shrouded, but obviously so was everybody else, and then they killed
Yeah,
him.
Yeah, that's very true.
I think it's more, and he knows this. He may be martyred.
Yeah.
He knows this,
like
but
Bobby
you
Wine
set a
as well.
precedent for everybody else. If everybody is watching what he can do, and you even do it in a small way, it can change Africa.
And I think it's because it's such quite a small country as well. Do you know what I mean? It's easy for it to be, okay, that's not necessarily the problem right now. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if it was a bigger country, I think like they would be more inclined to take him out.
Yeah,
know what I
there's
mean?
also that. But he's setting an example, so it depends.
He is.
All right. I just want to throw in a quick one before you wrap on this side. Love and hip hop needs to go. Okay.
What?
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
Yeah,
Why?
Yes.
I agree.
In the bin. Do you watch Love and Hip Hop?
No, I can't.
Don't
agree.
really watch it, but I'm not gonna co-sign that.
Whatever, pound.
We're providing,
Anyway.
providing jobs. I'm not gonna co-sign that. I got Love and hip hop.
For those that love
It
and hop.
depends what you're saying.
Anyway,
Love, you know they were trying to bring Love and Hip Hop to the UK.
they need to not.
Oh,
They-
that would have been
who's
so
gonna be
funny.
there?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, is that why they had the crossover with Big Totals in
I don't- Yeah.
the Atlanta one?
No.
Could you imagine?
No,
No.
honestly, that's
funny.
what it
No,
is.
watch
No,
that.
no,
You see that?
You're
I
not
like
actually
it.
not
I
actually
would
giving me a moment
actually
here.
watch that.
No, I would not.
I would. It'd be
Oh, you know-
funny.
Had you been contacted about it?
In regards to what?
Hey!
No, I don't know.
Love and Hip Hop UK, had you heard about it, that they were like trying to get
This is
people?
the first I'm hearing.
Really?
Really?
This is the first.
Would you go on Love and Hip Hop UK?
If they came along?
No, listen.
Let's see.
Who knows what tomorrow brings?
Oh, wow.
But I don't know. I don't really think that's my bag. I don't know. Are they bringing it to the UK yet?
Seriously, they were doing auditions.
Audition.
Audition.
Not
Why
even-
would you need
I
to
don't
audition?
Feel, I don't
No,
feel
you need to
Oh.
check your back. Like,
No,
if you're
they
going to
they
be.
were getting people in to audition
They
to
were
be a part of the cast.
casting.
Yeah, that was happening last
I knew
year.
this, actually.
I may have heard something that.
I knew you heard about it.
I may have heard something, but that the hustler wouldn't have to audition if he was gonna.
Everyone's there. Well, the reason why I would like it to go after you guys hijacked my enemy of progress
Okay, so-
is because Love and Hip Hop Miami stars Flo and Amara Negra. They got into it, sparking another colorism debate. It's annoying now. So they were at a fake
I
dinner,
think I
lunch
saw
thing,
this.
whatever,
Yeah.
when they set them up. We were all having a black women's brunch. Black women's positivity. And then next minute, Flo starts saying, "You ugly as fuck. You know, one of your baby daddy called you a black B word." And she shouted that at Amara Negra. I know
Amara?
Yeah.
She's beautiful.
Well,
Yes.
hey. And then she also added, you know, I'm light skinned and this B word is mad and how black bees hate light skinned women. Went into all this rant because Amara was like, why are you at a black women's lunch? I was talking about positivity and then you sell bleaching cream, basically. So it got into a bit of a back and forth.
Fair point.
Fair.
It's a fair discussion, but I just don't need to see any more of these fake, dramatized, curated arguments on our screen.
But at least it's black owned.
No, it's destroying
Like
the
Love
culture.
Island, all of these, you know.
I
At least
I don't watch any of them.
nor do I. But the
You
point
do.
is, I don't watch none of them.
Just
shows.
checking.
No, don't be silly. But
No,
Just checking.
Love
But-
and Hip Hop isn't black. Is it?
Is it black owned?
isn't
No.
Yeah,
Yes,
it
Mona's
is.
got
Yeah,
the
it's
same.
Mona's
Black
Mona.
owned,
Oh yeah, Mona.
Yeah,
makes
well,
okay.
black
Yeah, Mona.
created. Let's say
didn't
that.
say
I don't know if
makes
she
it okay,
currently.
but I'm
You
saying
did. You were back in
There's a
it.
space for. I say you watched it. You
No, I watched the clip and I was angry.
That's
but you
still
watched
helping.
the season before.
No,
though.
I've never. I've
never
no.
watched the season
When
of
it
Love and
first
Hip
came,
Hop?
no, when it first came out
Everyone's
with
watched the
Which one?
I've
Jim and
never
them?
watched the season.
I have, when it
ever.
first came out.
I have barely watched the full episode.
Yeah, when it
I'm not
first
too
came out,
familiar
I
with
thought
it.
when
Was it Jim and Chris?
when Jim, that season, I thought okay, and then it came out. I was like, no, you lot are faking a funk. I don't watch it anymore. I think it's destroyed part of our culture.
Yeah, but it's the world we live in now. Everything's
No,
on
we
reality TV now, you know.
I don't agree with you.
Does not subscribe to that.
No, I just don't agree with you at all.
Tune into
I
Language
find them
tomorrow.
exactly. Highly entertaining sometimes. Not always for me, but sometimes it's entertaining. Sometimes you
go.
need a little escapism. We're not a monolith. Some people live their lives like that. That's up to them. We don't have to do what they do, right? But that conversation, there was more to that conversation.
even though
There was a
you're
bit more.
You're doing what you said made you think.
Yeah,
it
no,
now you're taking out of context clips.
Yes,
I watched
even
what
I've
was
heard
watched.
this part.
Okay.
Elaborate.
So yeah,
Yes.
I didn't watch the whole thing, but what I saw was
Yes.
that actually the conversation started with what's it,
Amara
Amara?
Negra.
I'm not saying all that. Amara, she basically was referring to the girl first as yellow.
No,
you know
that's
what I mean?
not what she said. She actually said, "Why are you getting encouraging people to get bleaching cream so they can go the funky yellow like you?" That's not.
So what did
calling-
I just say?
difference?
I just said
what's the-
she was
wait,
referring to her as yellow.
But she wasn't calling
But
her.
what's the difference?
She
No,
wasn't
she
calling her
said
the funky.
She said
was saying she
like
went-
you. She's
No,
calling
she was
her a
saying it in a
funky
way
yellow.
that not calling
What
out.
is-
But
okay,
people
go
took it
on.
as she was calling out light skinned people, and she wasn't.
She
She's
was
talking about
calling
the-
out her,
For her
and she
funky
referred
bleach
to her
yellow.
as yellow.
Yeah, that's
that
fair.
is offensive.
it.
You don't,
It's
for some
offensive.
people,
No,
it's
yeah.
offensive.
No, that's
They
offensive
don't
for
like
the
that. Do you know what I mean?
bleaching
You
part that she's
can't say, yeah, but
referencing.
you can't start. You can't position yourself as a victim of colorism if you're going to start with calling out someone's color.
Yeah.
You
It's
can't do
offensive.
that.
It's offensive.
Seriously.
Because now we're just cussing.
No.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now it's a
You
cussing
just,
match.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
yeah.
You can't be pointing when you just started it. No.
Yes.
And just because the sake
Can't
of
be
the
victim
clip.
and the
But,
aggressor.
do you know what I mean?
It is.
You're
Exactly.
happy. No,
exactly.
that's right.
No,
But
no,
to be fair,
No, you can't do that.
but
No,
even- but the whole
You
thing
can't.
is, the whole argument. Whoever, to be fair, I didn't even really care about who said what. It's the whole setup. I don't like Love and Hip Hop.
Okay, cool.
That's what I mean.
I get what
That's
you're
the
saying.
general
I get what
preference.
you're saying.
The
But
personal
for
preference.
us, yeah, it's a bit rage baity with the colorism bit.
Yes,
yeah,
it
do you
is,
know what I
it
mean?
is,
I
it
didn't
is.
like.
Exactly,
I didn't like
exactly.
that.
That's
But
the
the
part.
fact is that woman uses bleaching cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the fact.
Yeah.
So she's a problem.
Yeah.
She's a big
She's a problem.
That's
She,
a big
she-
problem.
She's a
at the
problem.
beginning,
Yes.
she was darker, and now she's lighter.
Yeah.
But I do think that we can't really go down the colorism route when somebody has been gunned. Because now we're just arguing.
We're just arguing. But that's my thing. It's not even. They're not nuanced
Because
conversations. to be
she was
fair.
enraged, like, "Oh my God, you're coming at me!" Like, and it's like, but you came at her,
And that's the
now
point,
we're
it's
just
shit.
cussing. You
Yeah.
can't now
It's
be like,
shit.
"Ladies, let's activate."
Yeah.
This person was being colorist. It's like, let's not do that.
But that's my point. I think that to forget all of that. To be fair, that's the point. I didn't even really, to be fair, care about all those things.
Because you don't watch
It's-
it.
But it's all of that. But yeah, I don't. I think it's. I think it disturbed. No, but I think it's just. It's
Yeah,
affected our
yeah.
culture in a way that now there's a way that women act. Certain women, not all, but it's fed into our into our culture. This black culture thing where women just can't trust each other, always backbiting, always arguing. I think there's too many of these shows, and they show women in a bad light. Black women, particularly, in a bad light.
I hear what you're saying. I
me.
think this exists anyway. And if you watch a Jerry Springer documentary,
yeah, it's brilliant,
you
though.
will know that started with him. Like, do you know what I mean? It started with the
Yeah,
Jerry Springer
true.
show,
Yeah.
getting like people in a reality type situation
Yeah.
and having them pit them against each other
Yeah.
and having producers hype them up and everything like that. That's the origin of it. It's not, and they only done that to beat Oprah.
Yeah.
So if you want to be mad at anyone, be mad at them.
I am mad of the whole thing.
Serious.
I don't like the setup, and I don't like that particular thing, how it affects us. Because we're saying it's black owned, and so it's okay.
Giving jobs. I don't know if it's owned, but it's definitely giving. It's putting food on
Definitely.
people's plates.
So all jobs are good jobs.
Oh, nobody said that. Let's not.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying
I
that
don't know, man.
instance there. I don't think they're doing any harm. But then I haven't watched it, so I don't know. I
No,
might
but
be-
general,
it
but
might
you
be
know
wild.
general-
Did you watch
franchise.
any of like
Any of the
Lani
fran-
Good's Baddies UK?
Nah, not even a single
Why?
second.
Not even a clip.
The most I would have seen is a clip and
Man
been like,
said-
"That's not for me," and just moved on from it because, like, I'm not gonna. If you were to ask me what my enemy of progress, it'd be
Yeah.
things that
We
drag.
want to ask you later.
Yeah, go on, but
Go
carry
on.
on.
It would be things that are to the detriment of us or make us look a certain kind of way.
Like I
I'm
just
really with
said.
all of that. But no, from what I've seen of Love and Hip Hop, I haven't seen all of this stuff that my memories of it is the Jimmy and Chrissy era.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it may have become or what it may have evolved into. But that's my memories of it. It wasn't that bad then. I just looked at it as, and now I see that people that my careers may have been fading are getting opportunities to go in another direction with it. That's why I'm more for it, you know? From what I can see outside looking in, but I'm not a watcher. I'm not a viewer. Like Sade, she watches it regular. I can
do.
tell I can see the passion
Yeah.
in the way she spoke of it. Like you ain't cancelling my show. I know that. You get me? I felt that energy.
What do you feel about it?
No, Love and Hip Hop ain't the worst of them. Like,
No,
ba-
I don't
no,
think so.
all of the
Yeah.
badders,
The
Zeus
Bad Girl Club.
Bad Girl Club, Zeus Network, Lani and on all of the shit that she does, that is pants. That is
Yeah.
base level. It absolutely should go. I think it's disgusting. Love and Hip Hop, not really.
I'll say all of them then.
Did
No, they're
Banners
not all
go-
the same.
Did that
No,
Banners
no.
show? Did it go? Because I didn't watch it. Did it go the direction it looked like it was going in the?
What, just girls fighting?
Yeah, that's all I saw.
Titty
That-
swinging, yeah.
Yeah, regular.
Yeah. Yeah. Swinging titties, that's what it is.
That is
them to
exactly
swing.
what, and she's on her season 2.
Oh, she made it season 2. Well, you know, she
Big
made
up.
it season
I
I
two.
can't
can't.
rate
The
it.
thing is, and I hear
She's made,
why
she made
it's
an
so.
impact. She's made something for herself. I can't knock it.
It's
I can't completely knock it.
Yeah, you
I
can't.
can't. Like I respect her hustle. I
The
respect.
game is the game.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Can't knock the
I
Wow.
can't.
I get it, because
Game.
there's someone else that I'd probably be like, yeah, I get it. I rate where you...
I think it's all part of the same things, yeah. So you see, like, when people were out here with placards, like, going against gangster rap, I may too in this iteration, and I'm not going to be out there with placards, but I understand
I understand.
because it turns into culture.
Yes.
And that seeds into just a normal child thinking this is a part of who I am, and they identify with it. I don't want any of my nieces to think to get on, I need to be scantily clad out here and sign up to Lani Good's little shit and start fighting other women. That's
I don't
gross. I don't think that should be a part of our culture, so I can't co-sign her. Because do something better. You have a graphics degree. Like, you could be doing so much more, but you want to have people fighting in Cyprus. Really?
I think she just knows how to work the current climate that we're in and to kind of get attention, and that is the number one thing that you need in order to create these types of shows, is to have attention.
Fortunately,
Yeah, that's
But we're
it's
saying
not.
unfortunately. We're saying unfortunately. So then,
yeah.
But
How
it doesn't
can-
mean.
It's
I mean, it's
unfortunate.
like it's. I don't know. There's a lot of trash. I know we talk about reality, but there's a lot of trash shows.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? There's tons of them. You know, so like,
but we can't
choose your
deny,
trash in it.
but we can't deny how much of an impact, even from gangs. Like I was a hip hop fan,
Yeah, but
gangster rap fan, and
But you didn't grow up to be a stripper. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you.
I mean, but I could have. But I could. But
No, but what I'm saying is, like, people have discernment. Like, do you know what I mean?
But that's
Yes,
'cause of
it's
how I
part
was raised.
Yes, but most people are going to be raised in a decent way. We're not at one
will is a
thing.
very powerful
We
thing.
are not
Free
a
will.
monolith.
No,
We're
I
not.
think, but I also think that there's other parts where I was walking around like a gangster bitch, thinking I was bad because
Okay,
of that.
did you carry something?
No,
Did
because
you,
like I said, I had
you just
I
had
had
a little bit of a persona.
I had the.
You was playing
I
the
had
character.
I had the upbringing that stopped me, but I knew other people that didn't.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not just, that's me. One is one.
I think it's
person.
just we're talking about a very small percentage that
Very.
look at something and be like,
don't think
I'm
you're
going
gonna-
to be
it's not gonna
that,
look at bad
and
and
I
think, I wanna be- I
100%
wanna be like
commit.
that.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Not if
No,
you've
but I
got-
don't
not if
think
you've
it's
got
like
that.
I
Some
see-
will, but
okay.
if you, some will. 'Cause
Okay.
That's just how the world is now, and I noticed that. And unfortunately, it's how it is now. Girls are aspiring to do some things that isn't what they really should be doing. But I think others, when you come from some people, I wouldn't want to think that social media has got more influence on you than your parents or your sister or your aunt.
But
Absolutely, it does.
It does though.
Boy, that's a bad household.
But no, but it's not. It's not.
But I hear you because I see what's going on outside.
Yeah, we can't
but
deny.
Not with my kids.
Yeah, but there's that because you've got that. I've got that. Like my child's not
Yeah,
doing
that's what
this.
I mean. So
but there are
then-
also
then I'm
kids.
gonna
You've
start
got
blaming
that.
parents.
You've got that.
But the
Like, do you
thing
know what I
is,
mean?
what I
Like
will
the
say-
majority
what I
have
will
Yeah, that's
say,
what I'm
talking
saying.
about.
in
You've got
life,
that. It can influence.
there's always going to be influences,
Yes,
positive
there are.
and
There is.
negative.
You've got to make
Before
sure-
the day of, before the dawn of television and social media, there were still people doing fuck.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There were still
Absolutely.
people being
Right.
influenced by the man that had his horse and his car. There's always going to be something. Yeah? And it does depend on how you raise your village, right?
Absolutely.
So
That's right.
that's that.
But you ain't got to be the advocate for the fuckeries. Like,
No.
I
at some
agree.
point, as a
mean,
human,
I
you gotta
mean-
be like, I'm not
I
for.
can't hate them,
I'm
though.
better than this. Like, I'm not for perpetuating this fuckeries. Like,
I
I don't want
agree,
it to
but
carry on. I would
I
like
think-
more people to stop thinking about the green and think about actually for humanity. What
Can
do
I be
I
better?
want
I
to
agree
be
with you
out
because
there?
I'm that person. Like I could run my thing a totally different kind of way if I wanted to, but I avoid all of that kind
Yeah.
of stuff because of my moral compass. But at the same time, I have to look at how things are sometimes and just be like, you know what? If this is what it is and that's what's gonna make some money for them, obviously not too wild, but they're not killing people, they're not hurting anyone. If that's how they're making their money, sometimes I just have to be happy for them. Well, if that's how she's feeding her family, if that's what, maybe it's a means to an end. I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope, but yeah, it's not for me personally. But I've just had to learn to live and let live.
Yeah.
You have choice. You don't have to. You can speak your mind like you are doing, and that's absolutely fine and good that you're doing it. Like this is not for me. I don't agree, and other people can choose to. This is what I want to watch, and this is for them, and that's where we're at with it.
Okay, that's fair because I absolutely am for free speech.
Yeah,
definitely.
it's like
but
that.
she's still a blood clot.
Oh, wow.
I've called her worse.
No,
Never coming on the show. Nani will be like, I'm gonna come on. If she ain't there, like I've literally brought her to the table as an enemy of progress like
Yeah, you
5
have.
times.
You have.
You have.
And each
I've been
time
consistent.
I'm just like...
That's
I'm
our
always on
show.
the fence.
You know, 5 times, yeah.
Yeah.
That has been your aunties could never. Tune in. We're going to get into Pound's business. So if you subscribe, you're going to know all of his business because we're going to go deep.
Bye.
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 Later.